This is the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals.
For the first time since 2017, the battle for the Berg is back. These two schools used to be a few blocks away from each other. This afternoon, the rivalry is renewed. From Rocco Hortenzio Field in Harrisburg, it's a Mid-Penn Commonwealth Conference showdown between the 0-1 Harrisburg High Cougars and the 1-0 Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. A Saturday midday special of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Hi, everybody. Great to see you today. I'm Phil Shaner. Great to be next to former Harrisburg High and Bishop McDevitt coach Ford Chapman. This rivalry means a lot to the community.
It sure does. Since 1982 football season, the start of the Mid-Penn, these teams have played every single year. And then there's a little bit of a lull since McDevitt dropped down to the Keystone Division. They're back up in the Commonwealth this year, and the rivalry's renewed. There's a lot of intensity in the air.
For our spotlight player, this is breaking news. Take a look. Kevin Brown, the big offensive lineman, the Penn State commit, injured. He's out. How does that affect Harrisburg?
Apparently got hurt on Thursday's practice. That's a really tough loss for the Cougars. He's a two-way starter at lineman. He's been playing since his freshman year, a lot of minutes, and everybody else has to step up and make up for that major loss.
For Bishop McDevitt, their quarterback, Stone Saunders, incredible.
Phenomenal football player. He's been here for a long time. He's made a big impact on this program. And on the other side of the fence, Harrisburg has a rookie at QB.
Keys to the game brought to you by Monarchy Car Care Centers. Let's start with Harrisburg. What do they need to do to get a victory today?
They have to hold on to the football, get some big plays, which they're used to, and as well as defensively, not allow McDevitt to get a lot of monstrous plays.
Bishop McDevitt.
The Crusaders have to not turn the ball over and limit Harrisburg's big play potential and just play their football game.
Bishop McDevitt has won 8 of the last 9 meetings in the battle for the Berg, but Harrisburg has the bragging rights. They shut out the Crusaders 35-0 in the last meeting back in 2017. Harrisburg and McDevitt, it's next. A special Saturday edition of Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. The battle for the Berg is coming up on MyTV Central PA. The atmosphere is electric at Rocco Hortenzio Field on the campus of Bishop McDevitt. It is the Battle of the Berg, and it is back. Harrisburg and Bishop McDevitt. Harrisburg comes into this game 0-1, a loss last week to LaSalle College at home, 45-7. Bishop McDevitt opened up with a win at the Rose Bowl in York, a 45-14 win over Mount St. Joseph's of Maryland. Ford Chapman is the analyst today, and it's very appropriate. Coached the head coach of both of these teams, led Bishop McDevitt to the 1995 state championship. It just feels different, doesn't it, For when these two teams get together first time since 2017?
Yes, it does. A lot of intensity in the air. Harrisburg coming out in the all-white. McDevitt coming out in their alternate uniforms, the all-gold. And a lot of they're still piling in here. Cars still coming from all the way down on the start of the property. Expect another 1,000 or 2 more to show up after kickoff.
1982, one of their first meetings when they were in the mid-pen. When the mid-pen first started, Harrisburg won that game 45-12. Since then, McDevitt leads the series 21-15 since that point, but they're back. They haven't played since the 35-0 loss for McDevitt back in 2017. So
that 82 Harrisburg team, Phil, was led by Ray Isom, the future Penn State safety on their national championship team that upset Miami, and Vinny Testaverde in the Fiesta Bowl.
We are ready for the opening kickoff presented by the Good Feet Store, Saturday afternoon special of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Barron and Hill back to receive this Good Feet Store kickoff, and we are underway. The Battle of the Berg is back, a kick to the end zone, so Harrisburg will have the football. And let's meet the starters, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling. The starting lineup, the offense for Harrisburg, who really struggled last week, but they have 2 transfer players in their backfield that account for about 4,000 yards coming in. They're both juniors in Mickens and Dante Sheffy from State College. Mickens, of course, the transfer from Trinity. So there is your starters for Harrisburg, and they will have the ball 1st and 10 to get things underway on the 20. Harrisburg just 1 touchdown last week. Schenk was the quarterback a week ago. He hit Lewis for the touchdown, the only touchdown for the Cougars. And right away, up the middle and a tackle for a loss. The Bishop McDevitt defense, who played incredible last week, and that is Will Yost from the defensive end position making the stop. Let's take a look at this defense. 8 graduates from last year, so Coach Wechter with a lot of new faces on the defensive side, and that is the Bishop McDevitt defense, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling. Of course, Brooks, one of their top defensive players last year. He had 71 tackles, the 6-foot, 215-pound senior. So a 2nd and 11 now for the Cougars.
Bunch trip set to the top of the screen.
And a quick hitter, and the completion is made. Down the sideline they go, and knocked out of bounds at the 27-yard line as Koch made the catch, and Lewis is the starting quarterback. Schenk started last week, and he struggled. He was 7 of 14 for 59 yards and was shook up. Lewis came in, seemed to do a little better, so Lewis is the starting quarterback, and he has that completion to Koch, who had 3 catches a week ago.
Notice the formation on your screen. Bunch trips again, but they got Koch all by himself, as they did on the last play. And you got to determine, if you're McDevitt's defense, who likes to play a lot of man-to-man, how are you going to cover this number 1, Elias Koch, who's a big, tall threat to go the distance on any play.
45 catches, 843 yards, 12 touchdowns a year ago for Koch. And the handoff up to middle is the transfer from State College, gets the carry. Ewell gets the carry, number 9. Ewell's a guy that last year was over 1,000 yards rushing for this Harrisburg team. Brooks made the stop. No game, and a 4th down and decision time for Harrisburg.
No punt team coming out yet. Now, they may punt it out of shotgun. They probably will, but you never know. They're on their inside their own 30. They don't have enough guys on the line of scrimmage. They're moving them up now.
4th and short for Harrisburg. Just underway, the Battle of the Berg, back for the first time since 2017.
Koch's going to punt this.
Yep, shift into Koch, who is their punter. And he will punt it away. Let's see how Bishop McDevitt reacts to this. Koch with the punt.
No return. That's a really nice job by Harrisburg.
No one back there, and the ball rolls down to the 28-yard line, and that's where Bishop McDevitt's high-powered offense will have it. And we'll take a look at the Bishop McDevitt offense, brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling. The starting lineups for Bishop McDevitt, of course, led by their quarterback, Stone Saunders. Yes, the Canucky commit is finally a senior. He just has about every passing record there is here at the school of Bishop McDevitt. Running backs are good. Jones Davis and Barnes in the backfield. The wide receivers had to find some replacements there, of course. Rico Scott's no longer there. He's down in Alabama. He had 86 catches a year ago. 3 starters back on that offensive line. Would have been 4 without the injury to David Smith. Handoff right up the middle. Plenty of running room across midfield. And there goes Jones Davis into Cougar territory. all the way up to the 35-yard line. So a big run by Jones Davis, and Brannon makes the stop for Harrisburg.
What a hole opened up by that McDevitt offensive line on play number 1. He alluded to safety Koch. And fortunately for the Cougars, Quincy Brannon on the stop, way down the field.
37-yard pickup by Jones Davis on that run. And they give it back to Jones Davis. Powers his way up just shy of the 30-yard line. Down at the 31. Jones Davis last week, 5 carries, 54 yards, had a touchdown. Let's take a look at this defense for Harrisburg High. Brought to you by Focal Point Remodeling.
Derek Brown, number 12, the linebacker, is one of that last tackle. You see him on the screen there.
Yep, he's good. Koch is good. Williams outstanding in the secondary. Brannon, who already has a tackle in that secondary, but they got lit up last week. LaSalle, they had 321 yards of total offense, 268 yards through the air. LaSalle College did a week ago. And the completion there, the quick hitter to Barnes out of the backfield. Barnes doesn't catch too many balls out of the backfield, but he did there, and Ewell made the stop for Harrisburg High.
Maurice Barnes, a big body for a junior. And if you can have your running backs, which both these teams usually do, catch the ball out of the backfield, it's another threat.
Yeah. Last year, Barnes, though, only caught 7 passes for 83 yards. So they didn't use him as much out of the backfield a year ago. 7-yard pickup on that pass play. It is good enough for a 1-800-junk first down. And they are approaching the red zone here. Opening drive for the Crusaders. Handoff goes to Jones Davis, and he makes a man miss and dives forward shy of the 20, down to the 21-yard line on the Jones Davis run.
Harrisburg had a lot of defenders there for a negligible gain, but the McDevitt running back was able to get a little bit extra effort there, and first point of contact, get a few yards after that.
Williams made the stop for Harrisburg. Last year, Williams had 66 tackles, 4 interceptions. He was a menace last year for the Harrisburg Cougars defense, a team that went all the way to the state semifinals, just like Bishop McDevitt. Both teams reached the state semifinals a year ago. Now, of course, they're both playing in the Commonwealth as McDevitt moved up to the bigger division. Second down for Stone Saunders. Kentucky commit will throw the football. Fires and incomplete. Was looking for Daz Ellis, who had 6 catches a week ago. They had a special connection, but that pass was low to Diaz Ellis.
Both teams electing to go without a tight end thus far, using more wideouts to spread the field. It's tougher when you want to try to run the ball with the amount of guys blocking at the point of attack, but what you're able to do if you're Stone Saunders, you're such a good passing threat, you can spread that defense out, get more running lanes just by your formation.
3rd and 8 for Stone Saunders. 3 wide receivers, the bottom of your screen. Saunders has time to throw, fires in the middle and has the completion up to the 12-yard line, and that's good enough for a first down, and that is Jonte Quick with the catch. He had 2 grabs a week ago. He had 32 catches last year. Quick picks up the first down. Brannon made the stop.
Harrisburg playing a lot of zone the last few years, and their zone defensive pass scheme has been very, very effective for Jesse Haar, the defensive coordinator, because they have eyes on the ball and they run to the football very well.
1st and 10 is McDevitt's working inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone. And the handoff to Barnes. Barnes gets a few yards on this offensive line with 3 starters back on the offensive line from a year ago. That was one of their concerns last year for Bishop McDevitt, was rebuilding that offensive line. So now all these players have another year experience. This line averages 276 pounds, and 6'2" is the height average for a pretty big offensive line for McDevitt. Coach Wechter always likes that offensive line to be big, and every time you talk to Coach Wechter, he says, we're going to do what the defense gives us. if they're going to load the box, we're going to throw it. If they're going to, he makes those decisions on his offense. 17 district champs. They won 2 state titles. Won a state title 2 years ago. 2nd down for Saunders. He has tons of time. Look down the field, keeps his eyes, goes to the end zone. The ball is batted in the air and knocked down at the 1-yard line and incomplete. Sanders had a ton of time.
He sure did. That McDevitt skill set enables Saunders to scan the field, moves to his left there, as you see on the replay. and had a guy in the back of the end zone potentially open a little bit prior to that. Diaz Ellis for the Crusaders. You got to be careful. Almost a forced ball there, but he has a lot of experience, Saunders does, and he can make some plays with his feet as well.
9th play of the drive coming up for McDevitt. They started from the 30-yard line, their own 30, and they have the ball here in the red zone, trying to put the first points on the board with this battle for the Berg. Renewed rivalry, first time since 2017. Saunders from the shotgun, fires, almost picked off down at the 2-yard line, and that was well defended by Quincy Brannon was there. Brannon, who had 6 interceptions a year ago, almost had his first of the season.
You'll see the replay here. Quincy Brannon, very good two-way performer for the Cougars, just like his father, Quincy Brannon Sr. was a 1995 graduate of Harrisburg, and all-conference defensive end, wide receiver, kick returner, and his son is following right in his footsteps, wearing the same number.
Grilla, the kicker, the junior, in for the 29-yarder. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And your first points in the Battle of the Berg, the rivalry renewed, goes to Bishop McDevitt, and it's 3 on the board, and they lead it 3-0. You're watching a Saturday afternoon edition of Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Bishop McDevitt with a 3-0 lead. Both teams had an opportunity on offense. And now another kickoff presented by the Good Feet store. Kick is into the back of the end zone for the second time. So McDevitt, 9 plays, 60 yards, 3:40 off the clock, ended with a 29-yard field goal to lead it 3-0.
Phil, not only was that kick into the end zone, it went over the crossbar, it looked like.
It was incredible, right? The wind today, about 13 miles gusting, and I guess the wind might have helped that strong kick. Cloudy conditions today, temperature at 77 degrees. Might get a little warmer by the end of this game. So let's see what Harrisburg can do the second time around offensively.
Phil, the last 3 years, Sean Lee Jr., the quarterback for Harrisburg, was able to get the ball really well out to his skill guys. Let's see if the 2 quarterbacks here for today for the Cougars could do the same.
That's one of the storylines. Sean Lee Jr. was ruled ineligible by the PIAA a couple of game days before the season started. And Sean Lee last year, 2,256 yards passing, 26 touchdown passes, and he also ran for over 1,400 yards and ran in 19 touchdowns. The Pitt commit now playing at Milford Academy in New Berlin, New York.
Harrisburg was requesting an extra year due to the fact that he did not play during his COVID year. He was apparently injured, but he did start for 3 years and was in high school for 4 years, and that was the reasoning. Empty set here. One back in the backfield now for the Cougars, and it's Brannon.
Second down for the Cougars, 2nd and 7 for Harrisburg. Lewis in at quarterback. Lewis can run it, and he will run it right side. And he is knocked out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Chris Thompson knocked him out. Thompson had a pretty big game last week. He had 7 tackles, 2.5 sacks. How about this McDevitt defense last week? They had 9 sacks in their win a week ago over Mount St. Joseph's.
10 yards from the end of the run will be a first down.
What that was, Phil, was on the outside on Koch, the defender playing man up on Elias Koch, the tall wide receiver for Harrisburg. You'll see it in the top left of your screen. Right there's the hold. You could see it. He grabbed the jersey. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down for the Cougars.
So a referee this afternoon, Jeff White, with his first call there on the hold, so it gives him a first down, and that is a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down for Harrisburg on their second opportunity offensively. 6:06 to go, opening quarter. McDevitt went 60 yards on their drive and ended up with a field goal, lead it 3-0. Lewis, the quarterback, gonna run it, bounces to the outside, still on his feet across the 40, down to the 41-yard line. Lewis is a guy that can run. Last year, he was a threat to run the football, and Brooks made the stop for McDevitt.
You'll see it's a straight handoff, lead block, running, and that, when you hear a lot of analysts say that the offense has an extra half man when the quarterback is a running threat in shotgun, that's what they're referring to. In days back, the quarterback would hand the ball off to that running back. Now the quarterback's getting the shotgun snap, and he's acting like a running back with a lead blocker. So there's your extra man.
2nd and 4 for Harrisburg from the 41 after that Lewis quarterback keeper. Lewis has the quick hitter to the sideline and only gains a yard as Crummell was there to make the stop on that quick hitter.
To Brannon.
To Brannon, who's a major target. Brannon last year had 40 catches for 633 yards and 9 touchdowns. Last week he had 2 grabs for only 7 yards. Brannon is a guy they need to get the ball in space.
Kamir Williams was shaken up on that play, probably blocking downfield.
3rd down coming up for Harrisburg. This is big for Coach Calvin Everett in his 13th season.
Calvin Everett used to be an assistant under Jeff Wechter here at McDevitt, at the old McDevitt High School where it was located for a few years, and then joined Coach Chomp's staff at Harrisburg High and took over after Coach Chomp and has done a great job.
Handoff. McDevitt trying to strip the football. Vinnie Brooks was in there. Mickens gets his first carry, but no gain for Mickens. The Penn State commit who transferred from Trinity last year had accounted for over 1,000 yards, both rushing and passing, but nowhere to go. Great job by Brooks. So a 4th down for Harrisburg. Last time Cope went into motion and punted the football, but let's see what the Cougars do here. Let's see if they move Coke there or if they're going to go for it on this 4th down. They need to get past the 45-yard line for a first down. Lewis, who didn't start at quarterback last week, took over for Shank, and he is a threat to run. He's trying to run for the first down, but only gets a yard, and Harrisburg turns it over on downs after a 1-yard run by Lewis. So let's take a look at this Lewis run, unable to get the first for.
Well, McDevitt had the box stacked there and playing man on the outside, and it's tough to get those 3 yards on a 4th and short.
Lawler made the stop. Lawler had a monster game. This is notable. Last week he had 4.5 sacks, eagling Noah Spence's single game record in Bishop McDevitt history. Time now for our injury reserve list report, brought to you by OSS Health, high quality orthopedic care. And right there he is, Kevin Brown. We talked about him in the open, the Penn State commit, the big guy, 6'5", 270-pound junior is injured. He injured himself on Thursday. There's a timeout on the field. We'll step aside as well. McDevitt has the football back with a 3-0 lead. is the battle for the Berg. The Harrisburg band made the trip, the 3.5-mile trip from Harrisburg High. They used to be just a few blocks away. Now 3.5 miles separates these two rivals.
Bishop run right here, run right.
Yep, little pitch to Barnes, running right side across the 40. And he gets down right at the 39 is where they'll mark the ball as Barnes gets his third run of the game.
McDevitt, that was pretty easy to know what was coming there. McDevitt shifted to an unbalanced line to the right here, thus having more men at the point of attack, and they tried to run that way. And a little quick toss out of shotgun for a 3-yard gain.
McDevitt, their opening drive, 9 plays, ended with a 29-yard field goal. They lead at 3-0. Good field position here in their second offensive opportunity in Cougar territory. And give to Jones Davis. Jones Davis, his third run of the afternoon. Ewell made the stop for Harrisburg High.
Really good gang tackling there by the Cougars. Phil, when your offense risks something, as they did there in their own territory on a 4th and short, doesn't get it, your defense has to come out and really step up because the momentum is totally against you. Harrisburg has done it thus far in the first 2 downs, forcing a 3rd and 6 for the Crusaders.
Ball on the 38-yard line for the Crusaders, and Stone Saunders, 4-year starter, his senior season. Saunders to pass, incomplete. Was looking downfield and well covered by the Cougars secondary.
Now, decision here. With the ball on the 38, a little bit too long for a field goal. Those kids could maybe get it there. So you got to decide whether you're going to punt or go for it, and it looks like they're going to punt and play the field position game. The wind's at their back. They could. It's a little too long to attempt it. It's 50-some yards. They're probably going to punt. Yeah, they're punting.
So Bishop McDevitt will punt in their second opportunity on offense. So punting from the 50-yard line. Gorilla, high snap, gets it off. The punt goes into the end zone, and Harrisburg High will have the football at the 20. Now coming up next week, we'll be back on our normal Friday night spot. Coming up next week, a big game in the Commonwealth. Cedar Cliff and Central Dauphin East. Both teams are 2-0. Cedar Cliff with a big overtime win last night, 21-13 over Central Dauphin. And the Panthers of CD East took care of Chambersburg last night, 50-2. So we'll have those 2 games next week on the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals.
Looks like a running into the kicker. Late call by Jeff White, the longtime referee. So it might be just running into the kicker, which is only a 5-yard penalty rather than roughing, which is 15.
Here's another look at it on the replay. What do you think?
Made a little bit of contact, and it didn't in fact impact the kicker, although he did hit his foot. Should have had it. In theory, Messiah Mickens almost had that punt. He really could have blocked that thing. So the refs are talking here. They're checking with the Harrisburg bench, but you would think they would check with the McDevitt bench because McDevitt.
Now they're coming over to talk to Jeff Wechter. Jeff Wechter in his 27th season, 262-69. His record at Bishop McDevitt, a 79% win percentage.
Kicker foul. Still be a 4th down.
I think McDevitt's going to, McDevitt's going to go for it. They already moved the chains. They got to get those chains back and set. But if you're McDevitt, instead of having 4th and 7, you now have 4th and about 2.
You were right, though. Mickens almost was able just to grab that football, and he would have went the other way for a touchdown.
Yeah,
he was very close to stealing that football off the punter's foot.
And at least just block it and have that big play in your favor.
So McDevitt leads at 3-0. They took their opening drive, 9 plays, 60-some yards, ended with a 29-yard field goal. Now they'll have a 4th and 1. 4th and 1 from the 32-yard line. And they need to get to close to the 30. Need to get to the other side of the 31 to grab a 1st down. So we'll see what Coach Wechter comes up with. Barnes and Jones Davis, the 2 that have run the ball.
They have a double tight set here with 2 backs in the back. Old school set. They're going to run either the quarterback sneak, most likely, or just give it to that fullback or tailback and try. They got a long cadence and got him a jump.
There's experience. 4-year starter Stone Saunders was able to draw Harrisburg off sides for a first down without even running the play.
The Harrisburg defense came through and did their job to force a punt, but then the special teams and then jumping off sides puts Harrisburg in a tough situation. Already down 7, ball close to the red zone.
Yep, good job by Saunders, the Kentucky commit. Of course, they brought in their fullback. Dawson was in the backfield, so they went big, but Saunders did it with his voice, drawing Harrisburg off sides, and now a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down on the penalty for Bishop McDevitt, who have the ball in Cougars territory with a 3-0 lead. They give to Barnes, and he loses a 1.5 yards. Nowhere to go. Great job up front by the defense. Plant was there, one of the big guys on that defensive line for Harrisburg. So now a 2nd and 12 for Bishop McDevitt. Cloudy day here at Rocco Hortensio Field. A brand new turf put down here at the stadium. Looks nice. There's a penalty marker down, and I think that's going to be on Bishop McDevitt moving early.
Yes, legal procedure.
Foul.
One of the outside
Start offense, 5 yards.
receivers. One was moving up at the top. They had 2 receivers to each side. Aside from that short yardage play for McDevitt on the previous to get the first down, both teams are going pretty much without a tight end. I alluded to that earlier. It's tough to run that football with the numbers game. You got more defenders at the point of attack.
So a 2nd and 17. The ball moved back to almost right at the 34-yard line after the penalty. Bishop McDevitt had no problem a week ago. A big 45-15 win over Mount St. Joseph.
That's a penalty. Tight end's ineligible.
Yep, the
and they
pass to Barnes. Barnes across the 30, down to the 29-yard line, but no penalty marker.
I don't see a flag, but that was a penalty. The tight end was covered on that play. If we can look at that replay, show the formation.
So explain this to us with the tight end. You'll see it on the
tight
replay.
end on the left is covered by the receiver up top there. He can't go out for a pass. Once that ball's thrown down the field, you know what? It's not a penalty because the ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage. That's what happened. They hit the back out of the backfield. It would have been a penalty if the ball would have thrown in front of the line of scrimmage, but
so a
they
third
saved
down,
one there.
Third down now from the 29-yard line. A 3rd and 12. Saunders gonna run to the far sideline and out of bounds at the 24-yard line.
McDevitt lined up in the wrong formation, Phil, the previous play, but they got away with it because the ball was caught behind the line of scrimmage.
Got it. So
they had 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, so it's okay. It was a legal formation because there were 7 on the line.
So another 4th down in this drive for Bishop McDevitt here coming up.
I wouldn't be surprised they kick this field goal. It doesn't look like they're going to. Because I'll tell you what, that kicker has one heck of a leg, and that's pretty much a chip shot for him, even though the ball's on the left hash.
So a 4th down for Bishop McDevitt.
See if they motion the trips here. Yep, they're going to motion the 3 receivers. Sprint that way.
Saunders pass has the completion to Des Ellis, and Bishop McDevitt.
I don't think he got it. I think he's short.
He is
by about
short.
a yard.
Yep, he gets inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone, but is short of the first down. So the Cougars take over on downs as he was 2 yards short of the first. The Saunders, the Diaz-Ellis completion.
Here you see it. Saunders has to go to the short guy. The only guy that's open, got rid of it just in time. And a really good play out there on the outside, number 3 for the Cougars. Kamir Williams to push him out of bounds to turn the ball over back to the Cougars. Nice defensive stop by Harrisburg.
So 1:21 to go in this first quarter, and Harrisburg has the football back after holding McDevitt on downs. Don't forget, later on today on CBS 21, college football is back. Akron and Ohio State, and then tonight at 7:30, it's UCLA and Hawaii. First day of major college football back, and also back is the battle for the Berg. You can watch those 2 college football games later today on CBS 21. 1st and 10 for the Cougars and Lewis. Lewis fires downfield, looks for Koch, and he was interfered with, and that'll be a pass interference call as Crummell is flagged for the penalty for Bishop McDevitt. Hard to cover Elias Koch.
If you're going to cover with 1 man, as McDevitt's trying to do here,
Be a
that's the
first
second
down.
time we've had. interference / holding against Koch, and that's why Koch's out there all by himself away from the other receivers. It forces McDevitt to make a decision. Do we man up him or give him some help with a safety or something underneath in some kind of zone combo coverage? And they're electing to go man-to-man so far.
So the penalty will give them a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down for Harrisburg on the pass interference penalty. With Brannon and Koch, those two wide receivers, 40 catches last year for Brannon, 45 for Koch. The only difference is they had Sean Lee Jr. throwing them the football. Now they have an experienced quarterback in Lewis trying to get him the football, but those two wide receivers are special.
Absolutely.
Bunch wide receivers with 3 of them at the top of your screen, and Koch
you brought up a great point right
at the
there,
bottom.
Phil. The bunch trips, it's tough to play man against that bunch look.
So 1st and 10, Lewis, and he's sacked. 9 sacks last week for Bishop McDevitt defense, and they have their first of the day. Coming up to make this sack is Garnes. Garnes had 5 tackles and a half a sack last week. Garnes has the first sack of the game for McDevitt.
Well, with no tight end and only 1 back in the backfield, those guys are putting their ears back for McDevitt and coming. You need a screen, a draw, quick wide receiver screen to keep those rushers from getting to that quarterback so quickly. You got to sort of try to hold them up a little bit, have them looking for other keys.
After the Garnes sack, a loss of 6, so a 2nd and 16 now for Lewis, the young quarterback for the Cougars. He's going to run the football right side, pushes the pile forward, is shy of the 30, and that's where he stopped after a gain of 2. So 10 sacks now for Bishop McDevitt on this defense. Last season, they had 21 sacks. They already have 10 sacks, 5 quarters into the 2024 season for Coach Wechter's Crusaders. 8 seconds to go before the end of the first quarter. And that will be the final play of the first quarter. We're heading to the second quarter, a Saturday afternoon special of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. It's the Battle of the Bird, and Bishop McDevitt holds a 3-0 lead. The Battle of the Berg, second quarter. Bishop McDevitt up 3-0 in Harrisburg, and 3rd and long for Harrisburg. And when there's big games, the big names come out. Shady McCoy, LaShawn McCoy, there he is, down on the sidelines, going into the Eagles Hall of Fame. That'll happen for him this year. Outstanding player, one of a couple of players that Coach Wechter had to play in the NFL. LaShawn McCoy on the sidelines today for this battle for the Berg.
McDevitt showing deep zone.
3rd down, Lewis to pass, fires downfield, overthrows his intended target. Had a man open for, just overthrew him. He had Jackson, number 11, open.
I like the scheme McDevitt running in a deep zone here instead of playing tighter coverage. Had a little seam right there, but yeah, ball was well overthrown. Gonna force a punt here for the Cougars, obviously. Back to Shady McCoy. We talked about Kevin Brown's injury really limiting Harrisburg because he's such a force on the offensive and defensive lines. Shady McCoy, his senior year, about the 4th game of the season at the old McDevitt, broke his foot down near the goal line against the Harrisburg Cougars to shorten his senior season. But wow, did he have a sophomore and a junior campaign.
Quick will punt for the 3rd time this afternoon. And there's a whistle before the punt can come off. Of course, Shady McCoy, and
Dead ball foul. Delay of game, 5 yards.
before that it was Ricky Waters. And man, to have 2 guys that had that many yards in the NFL from one high school does not happen often.
No, it doesn't.
Special. So a penalty on Harrisburg High will push them back a little bit. Koch will now be standing at his 9-yard line. And Koch standing at his 40 to receive the punt. Koch gets the punt off. Good punt by Koch. Takes a Harrisburg Cougars bounce all the way down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. And it's time now for one of our newer features on Friday Night Rivals. It's time for our Smile Cam. Yes, it is. It's Smile Cam time. It's now time for your Valley Pediatric and Orthodontics Tooth Fairy Smile Cam. Remember that Valley Pediatrics and Orthodontics now accepting new pediatric patients. Some nice smiles as the Battle of the Berg is back here at Rocco Ortenzio Stadium. Now, girls, show us your teeth, show us your smile. It's Smile Cam on a Saturday afternoon edition of Friday Night Rivals. So Bishop McDevitt has the football back up 3-0 with a 1st and 10 for Stone Saunders. Completion is made at the far sideline. That is Gage Ruth, who last week had 3 catches, has his 4th catch of the season for the 6'4", 180-pound junior Ruth with the quick hitter.
Just a nice quick out, thrown on rhythm by Saunders, the veteran. Picks up yard, easy way to pick up 5-6 yards. Now on that last punt, Koch had a really nice punt. McDevitt return man did not field it, and it gave up an extra 10 to 14 yards.
2nd and 4 for Saunders. 72 yards of offense for Bishop McDevitt in that first. And here's a lot more. 1st down and more. Still running across midfield into Harrisburg territory. And what a run by Jones Davis. His biggest run of the day. And that is a kitchen saver. 1st down all the way down into Cougars territory to the 34-yard line.
The junior running back got right through the line, and he was off the pay dirt. Breaks the free safety tackle. Gets an extra 25 yards after that. They're knocking on the door, the Crusaders.
Good thing Koch ran him down number 1 after a 42-yard run there by Jones Davis, his biggest run of the year. Last week he had 5 carries, 54 yards, had a 30-yard run and a touchdown last week. That's the biggest run for him this season. The 2 juniors, Barnes and Jones Davis, 2 great running backs. This time it's Barnes up the middle across the 30 down to the 29-yard line by the other junior who was being looked at by both Penn State and Virginia Tech. Good 1st down run to the 29-yard line. Ewell made the stop for the Cougars. How about Saunders just needs 8 more touchdown passes to break Steel High's Alex Irby's record of 167 career TD passes that, of course, Irby set last week. A lot of Irby's records that he set last year, Stone Saunders could take care of them this year in his senior year before he heads off to Kentucky.
Irby from the Rollers was the big 33 quarterback.
2nd and 5, Saunders pass incomplete, was looking for Ruth again on the far sideline, but couldn't hook up.
Irby's dad was an assistant head coach in the big 33. He's done a great job with the Rollers.
One of my buddies, Mike Farr, the head coach this year for Pennsylvania this past summer.
That's correct.
From Schuylkill Haven High School.
He does a fabulous job in that area. Big in our coaches association for years.
He had a tough loss in week 1. The team right up the street, Blue Mountain, was able to beat him in week 1, a bigger school. But last night they had a big win over Panther Valley for Coach Farr, who was the big 33 head coach this past summer.
No, a year ago.
Yeah, 2 years ago. Yeah. So here we go, 3rd down for Bishop McDevitt. Saunders time to throw and fires far sideline. Wow, was able to complete that pass to Quick. Quick had to come find that ball.
That's a tribute and an indication of Saunders' arm. Watch him go backwards to avoid the rush, throwing off his back foot late all the way to the sidelines, which is a no-no, but with the strength of his arm, he was able to complete it.
Yeah, that's usually dangerous. You don't want to do that, but the arm strength of Saunders had the completion to Quick, but Didn't give him much. So a 4th down coming up for Bishop McDevitt. Decision time here with 9:35 to go in the second quarter and a 3-0 lead in the Battle of the Berg. Back again, the rivalry renewed. Let's see what McDevitt will do on this 4th down.
For Harrisburg, watch the ball. Don't jump early.
They sent a man in motion, does McDevitt, and they hit Diaz Ellis, and he goes nowhere. Well played by the defense. And what a big stop there by Williams. Number 3 coming up to make the stop on Diaz.
Coach Wechter trying to make a play there with a quick pass where you're going to get blocking downfield. And he was unable to get the blocks he was looking for in the Harrisburg defense. As we talked before, zone eyes for several years, and they run to the football very well.
Williams is so good. I mean, he was phenomenal last year with those 66 tackles and 4 interceptions. That was a great open field tackle by Williams to get Diaz Ellis with no gain. So they turn it over on downs. So both offenses struggling a little bit. The defenses in the Battle of the Berg have the hands up so far in this game. There's Shady McCoy on that sideline talking to Coach Wechter. Can imagine he probably said, Coach, get me in there. I would have got that 1st down. He was incredible in his years here at Bishop McDevitt.
He sure was. I got a stat for you here. We have a delay of game, another delay of game up by the Cougars.
Delay game by the offense, 5 yards.
Phil, I'm going to have you try to guess this one, put you on the spot a little bit. About 5-6 years ago, when Harrisburg went to the state championship and they beat Coatesville, upset Coatesville at Hershey Stadium in the semifinals of the state, lost to obviously a very good St. Joe's prep team. That Harrisburg defense, how many pick sixes, I'm talking about interceptions, return for touchdowns, did they have that season?
11.
14, great guess.
Oh. Handoff there to Koch. So they're going to find ways to get different people the football and different weapons offensively. That was Mickens, I'm sorry, with the handoff. Mickens, who transferred from Trinity, and then you had Sheffy, who transferred from State College. 2 guys that were great. Dante at State College his freshman year, he led the Mid-Penn in rushing that year. He had over 1,700 yards rushing the football with 22 touchdowns. He's a Syracuse commit. Coach Fran Brown, the new coach at Syracuse, has done a great job recruiting this area. He has a couple of Syracuse commits on this field today. So many Power 5 players in this game today. Pass downfield looking for Koch.
Koch didn't have his head turned quickly enough and was not able to locate the football. But the ball had to get delivered much earlier than expected because of the pressure of the McDevitt defense.
Here's the pressure.
And the errant snap.
Oh, he had him. Koch wasn't, as you said, did not turn his head. And Lewis, of course, had to rush his pass a little bit because of the pressure, but that could have been a huge play for Bishop McDevitt, or excuse me, for Harrisburg High.
Brought it up already, I'm gonna mention it again. When you don't have a tight end in the game, you have center, 2 guards, and 2 tackles. Both teams are doing a lot of this. The pressure can come much quicker.
3rd and 12.
Screen.
Sets up the screen to Mickens. Mickens on the run across the 35. Mickens still on his feet and dragged down at the 36-yard line. Crummel comes up with the tackle for Bishop McDevitt.
A little bit of bend, don't break defense there by McDevitt, forcing a 4th and short.
Here's another look at the screen pass to Mickens.
Really nice screenplay. Mickens almost got the 1st down. Nice play call.
Mickens, a Penn State commit. Penn State starting their season today in West Virginia, playing now in Morgantown. The first time they've played there since 1992. Wow.
When West Virginia had Berwick star Tom Robstock as a lineman.
Yes. So many Berwick players ended up at West Virginia over the years. Bo Orlando, one of them. Koch's punt. Quick grabs it at the 29-yard line. Quick on the return, up the sideline, then steps out at the 41-yard line after a 10-yard return, but there's a penalty marker down.
And Jake Kelchner, Notre Dame transfer.
Yep.
Went to West Virginia, played quarterback.
Don't forget, coming up later this quarter, the PSECU Financial Education Tip, a focus on you. That's the PSECU difference.
First down.
Jeff White with another call. He's been busy this afternoon. The veteran referee, Jeff White, with the call, and Harrisburg committed the foul.
Now the score only 3-0 at this point. The field position has not been a major factor yet, but right there, it's only a 5-yard face mask penalty, which isn't that bad. So the ball's going to be at the 42-yard line coming out for McDevitt.
So Harrisburg with another penalty. It's time to raise the roof now as we do it here at Rocco Hortenzio Field. The Battle of the Berg is back. The Raise the Roof cam is brought to you by Able Sun Roofing. Before you sign, call us, Able and Son Roofing, as we raise the roof. A whiteout today in the student section for Bishop McDevitt on a Saturday game. Quick goes in motion. Saunders back to pass. Plenty of time to throw. Goes downfield. Incomplete. Probably about 7 yards over his intended target downfield. Good coverage. Was looking for Dominic Diaz-Ellis, but incomplete. Walker was on the coverage. Good coverage by Walker.
We used to have a saying, a phrase that we were at McDevitt when I was there in the 90s, Phil. We had some good athletes. We were able to, at the skill position, utilize them in the passing game. But when you play the Cougars, they match you almost every year, athlete for athlete.
Jones Davis gets the carry across the 45-yard line to the 46.
And you had to be careful putting the ball in the air. And I say that because to our right is the Harrisburg coaching booth, and right there is Sean Lee, the quarterback's dad, Sean Lee Sr., who was a phenomenal defensive back in the early 90s and played at Penn State. Guess who was his sidekick defensive back, has a Super Bowl ring? Hank Poteet went to Pitt.
Yeah, Poteet,
yes.
A great Pennsylvania player. Hank Poteet, I think, was a big 33 player.
Yes, he was.
Third down for Bishop McDevitt, 3rd and 6. Saunders, incomplete.
Trying to throw that hitch on rhythm.
Yep, good coverage by Brannon. They were trying to get the football back to Diaz-Ellis. Good coverage by this Cougars secondary. You're right. You said it. You know, when you're at Bishop McDevitt, a lot of great athletes, but Harrisburg finds a way to match you up.
That's exactly right.
As far as athlete to athlete, and that's why it's great to have the Battle for the Berg back, and he'll be back for a number of years.
No doubt about it.
With the realignment now that Bishop McDevitt is in the Commonwealth again. So McDevitt will punt it on this 4th down, and they're going to let it go and bail out, and it'll go out of bounds at the 23. And we'll step aside. Harrisburg High will have the football when we get back. McDevitt leads at 3-0. Big crowd, not far to go from Harrisburg High, about 3.5 miles. It used to be a lot closer. It used to be about 3.5 blocks.
Yeah, 3.5 blocks.
And I think you were the coach that started the walk.
Yes,
we don't need a bus. We don't need a van. We're going to walk down the sidewalk
That's
right to the stadium.
1991, our quarterback and safety was a senior, Vince Harper. He's now the principal here at Bishop McDevitt.
How about that? Principal Harper sitting right below us here, press box level, and his family to watch this matchup, the Battle of the Berg. Harrisburg High with the football and the run straight ahead. Not a bad 1st down run by Ewell. Now, Ewell is a guy I think is under the radar as far as recruiting. This kid was outstanding last year. He had 1,200 yards rushing, averaged almost 8.5 yards a carry, had 3 100 yards games and 16 touchdowns Ewell did last year.
And Harrisburg had a great comeback in the district final. I was fortunate enough to be a part of that announcing crew, and at Manheim Township, it looked like Manheim Township was going to get their second win over the Cougars, and then Harrisburg just kept battling and ended up forcing several touchdowns late and got the win in overtime.
Yeah, came back to win that game 34-28, and then in the semifinals the next week, lost to North Allegheny 24-12 in the 6A semifinals at Mansion Park in Altoona. Second down for Lewis, who fires Koch with the completion and a first down. Koch went way up to grab that for the Kitchen Saver first down.
That's what Harrisburg needs. Cougars need to move the chains and gain some confidence with this young quarterback, and that's a nice throw on rhythm. He's got a huge target to go to.
Second catch for Koch in the game. Crummel in there on the stop.
Now Harrisburg, if you look here, they have 3 receivers, but they have this little H-back here that can help with the lead blocking for the running game.
First down for the Cougars, down 3-0. Great move by Shiffy into Bishop McDevitt territory. What a big run there. That's Ewell again. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Barnes made the stop. So a big run by Ewell, and that is a first down into McDevitt territory, and that's Nehemiah Ewell. Great run.
I really like the wrinkle by the Harrisburg coaching staff to get that lead blocker and now keep the McDevitt defense off balance. You're now getting a mixture of run and pass, which makes it much more difficult for a defense to defend you.
Ewell last week had 7 carries for 30 yards.
And with it comes, you can see some confidence in the Harrisburg offense, minus their big stud offensive lineman, Kevin Brown.
So working in McDevitt territory, Lewis has the pass to Koch. Koch breaks the tackle, spinning his way, and he's down at the inch line. Wow, 40-yard pass play, Lewis to Koch, who was tackled right at the inch line. We were that close to our first touchdown of the afternoon.
This quarterback's growing up right before our eyes. He put that ball in that skinny post right on the money.
Kremel was the one that saved the touchdown, was able to tackle Koch right at the inch line. A 40-yard pass play, Lewis to Koch, and Harrisburg is in business, knocking on the door for the first score.
Okay, 3 plays there got them that far. They throw a nice little rhythm route, short route to Koch. Got some good yardage. They run the ball.
Yeah, Ewell had those 2 runs.
Yep, 2 runs, yeah. And then all of a sudden, a beautiful pass and catch, and Harrisburg's knocking at the door.
But you said that Lewis, the young quarterback, is growing up. He didn't start. He wasn't the starting quarterback last week. It was Shank who got the start. Shank struggled a little bit, got banged up. Lewis came in. He's a little more of a dual threat as far as able to run the ball. But now we're seeing that he has an arm, good arm strength to hit Koch right on time. And Koch got all the way down to the inch line. Crummel saved the touchdown for McDevitt defensively. But Harrisburg is knocking on the door, an inch away from our first touchdown of the game this afternoon. 3-0 Bishop McDevitt scored on their opening drive. They went 9 plays and about 60 yards, ended with a 29-yard field goal.
McDevitt only has 10. McDevitt only has 10 guys on the field on defense right now, and the Harrisburg's still over. We have a McDevitt guy who's down with a cramp. Oh, there they go. They're putting another guy out there. Number 34 for the Crusaders, Jaden Chase, sophomore linebacker.
Stay tuned for the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report, highlights and stats from the first half, also the best high school football highlights from around the country, and also our Schellenberger Januzzi Wolf LLP Scholar Athletes. It's all coming up on the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. 3:44 to go before half. Good crowd here at Rocco Hortenzio Stadium.
Phil, the little things in sports, you're a basketball coach, you know what, you emphasize the little thing. Football, the same thing. Here's a little thing that happens. When you're on the goal line and you have 4 cracks at it, you don't want your offensive line to jump off sides. You want everybody to be a unit. If you're going to cut your splits a little bit, because defense is going to be hauling back and trying to make a play, and just have poise and hold on to the football if you're Harrisburg and get that ball in the end zone. The other thing is, for years we'd be under center, and every once in a while you'd see shotgun. Now it's the opposite in a lot of places. Shotgun almost all the time. Then you get to a short yardage or goal line situation. What do? You go under center at times. Harrisburg may still line up in shotgun. We'll see. And sometimes you can have some errors there. So Cougars are going to line up in the shotgun with 2 backs. Look for a quick handoff to the right there. and the quarterback may even keep it. I'm going to say he's going to hand it to number 9 right here to the right. There it is.
Hands it to Ewell. He bounces his way, still on his feet, fighting towards the end zone, and give him 6. Touchdown Ewell, who had 2 big runs in this drive, and pushes Harrisburg into the end zone for the first touchdown of the Battle of the Berg. Rivalry renewed. Take another look here at your touchdown. It's the Faulkner Honda touchdown.
There it is. 2 years ago, Harrisburg's kicking game for extra points and field goals was almost non-existent. Last year, they did a lot better job at kicking extra points and even short field goals. So let's see how they can do this year with Quincy Brandon holding.
Let's see if they can make the extra point. The kick is up by Lopez and no good. So Lopez's extra point does
Bounces
not go
off the
through.
left upright.
Bounces off the upright, but Ewell gets Harrisburg in the end zone to take the lead. It's 6-3, the Battle of the Berg. Former head coach at both Harrisburg High and Bishop McDevitt for Chapman. Phil Shaner with you this afternoon. It's a Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals Saturday noon special for you. The Battle of the Berg is back, and Harrisburg High just took the lead, 6-3 with their touchdown. Time for another Good Feed Store kickoff. We'll have the scoring summary for you in just a bit. And touchdown, the first touchdown of the day. Here's the kick. They kick short to the 20. It will be returned. A spin move across the 35 and a return of 17 yards, and that's where McDevitt will have the football. Time now for a remarkable home buyers scoring summary. 5 plays, 77 yards, 2:24 off the clock. Ewell with the 1-yard touchdown run, and Harrisburg has their first lead and first score of the game, the remarkable home buyers scoring summary. So it's 6-3 with 3:25 to go, second quarter.
Ish Palmer on that kickoff return got the ball out to nice field position for the Crusaders.
17-yard return on the kickoff for him, and now we'll see what Stone Saunders can do with a 1st and 10. Has a couple of completions today, but nothing real big. Saunders throws across the middle, has the completion to midfield. Koch was able to drag out Quick, who made the catch, but it was good enough for a 13-yard pickup and a first down, a kitchen saver first down, Saunders to Quick.
Crossing route from right to left. Koch comes up from a safety position to make the tackle. Plenty of time for McDevitt with just over 3 minutes to go here. Already across midfield.
At the 49-yard line, McDevitt working in Cougars territory, trying to answer that 5-play, 77-yard drive by the Cougars. There's Jones, that's Barnes bouncing across the 40 and down to the 39-yard line. Good run there by Barnes.
Found an opening there to the left. You'll see him bounce it.
10-yard pickup, another first down for the Crusaders. So they're moving fast and moving the football. Already have it down to the 39-yard line in Cougar territory. Saunders with the handoff to Jones Davis. Jones Davis powers his way and picks up 9 yards. A 9-yard run by Jones Davis. So a 10-yard run by Barnes and then a 9-yard run by Jones Davis.
And they're going to go quick here, and that McDevitt, there's too many men on the field for Harrisburg. It's going to force Harrisburg to call a timeout. That McDevitt O-line is really pushing the pile there and getting some nice holes there for their offense.
So Harrisburg calls timeout with 2:41 to go before our halftime show. Coming up next week, we'll be back on Friday night for week number 3. We'll stay in the Commonwealth. Good matchup, 2-2-0 teams. Cedar Cliff Colts, who won in overtime last night over Central Dauphin, will take on the CD East Panthers.
Cedar Cliff is up in the Commonwealth as well with McDevitt now, Phil, back in the Commonwealth. Yep.
That was their first Commonwealth win ever last night of a Commonwealth team, so they're excited. And coming up later today, more college football for you after you're done with the Battle for the Berg. CBS 21 has Akron and Ohio State at 3:30. Then tonight, UCLA and Hawaii. College football is back on CBS 21.
Cedar Cliff was in the Commonwealth for years.
Yeah.
In the early going with Bob Craig as their coach. They did a fabulous job.
But now with Coach Gillen, that's his, getting back to that big side of the conference and the Commonwealth. That was a big win for them last night in overtime, 21-13 over Central Dauphin. So we'll have CD East next week. Handoff bouncing to the outside is Jones Davis, and he has the first down. Stop was made by Brown for Harrisburg.
Even if you bottle it up inside with like the Harrisburg defense did, these running backs for McDevitt can bounce it and get big yardage here. You'll see it. Nothing's there. Keeps his feet, bounces outside, just gets tripped up.
1st and 10 from the 28 for McDevitt, looking to match the Harrisburg touchdown. Handoff straight up the middle. Jones Davis gets across the 25-yard line to the 24. Jones Davis, they call swoop. That's his nickname.
Just in 2 minutes, plenty of time here, just inside the red zone.
Penalty marker flies, and Stone Saunders says it's on Harrisburg. We'll have to wait and see what Jeff White has to say. Saunders is convinced it's on Harrisburg High, and it is. 5-yard penalty on the Cougars.
Brings up another 2nd and 1.
Defensive encroachment. Start the clock on the snap.
So 2nd down and 2 now for McDevitt, looking to answer the Harrisburg score. Saunders will hand it off to Barnes. Barnes running inside, gets to the 10-yard line, gets a first down, and Bishop McDevitt continues to move inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone. And they have the ball down at just shy of the 10-yard line after a 9-yard gain. Britton made the stop for the Cougars after Barnes got the first down. So a 1st and 10. They could get a first at the 1-yard line. Saunders looks over to the sideline to Coach Wechter for the play.
Got too many guys at the point of attack, McDevitt does. They're just going to keep blasting it in there until Harrisburg tightens up that defense. And
Harrisburg has to call a timeout. Their 2nd of the half, 2nd of this drive, so some defensive mix-ups. Of course,
the advantage, Phil, of lining up with in a zone coverage, as Harrisburg likes to do a lot, you got that free safety back there that can run to the football. You got corners that can see the ball when the quarterback's throwing. You're not playing man. But the disadvantage that you're spread out with McDevitt's 3 wideouts, and McDevitt's just blasting that ball right up in there. And I don't think they're going to do anything else until Harrisburg finds a way to stop it.
It's been a 2-man running attack for the Crusaders with Barnes and Jones Davis getting a good majority of all the carries. McDevitt running behind their pretty large offensive line. When I say large, 6'5", 305, 6'3", 310, 6'4", 240. The line average is about 276 pounds, I should say, as far as weight is concerned for Bishop McDevitt's pretty large offensive line. Saunders gonna hand it off to Barnes. Barnes makes a man miss, stays on his feet, gets inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. Good second effort by Barnes before he was brought down by a host of white jerseys for Harrisburg.
We mentioned some injuries. We saw Shady McCoy when he got hurt against Harrisburg. When Kevin Brown now for Harrisburg's lineman cannot play with an injury he had suffered in practice this week. Another injury was in 2013, opening game here ever. And Robert Martin III, the great running back for Harrisburg, got hurt early in that game.
That was
knee injury.
Yep, that was a McDevitt 35-14 win that day in 2013. Pushing the pile towards the goal line, but coming up short down to the 2-yard line is Jones Davis. Jones Davis gets down to the 2. Good, strong run by Jones Davis, a 5-yard pickup. Stayed low to the ground.
Carrying the pile, yes.
Yep.
Almost lost it there at the end. Good hard run, you're right.
Brandon made the stop. 3rd and 2 at the 3, so they can get a first down here with this 3rd down. Barnes and Jones Davis have really carried McDevitt here in this drive, and Harrisburg is going to take their 3rd timeout of this series. Before the half, with only 26 seconds to go before our halftime show.
You really have nothing to lose if you're the Harrisburg defense with your back against the wall there with the ball inside the 5-yard line. With that timeout, don't be surprised if they jam the gaps and just bring pressure and try to create some kind of big play to force McDevitt in a 4th down and more than a 1.5 yards or 2. Maybe McDevitt will kick a field goal to tie it. If they get any kind of yards here, you would expect them to go for it on 4th down.
McDevitt's opening drive of this game, they went 9 plays, 60 yards, 29-yard field goal. And then we didn't have any scoring until late in the 2nd quarter after a 5-play, 77-yard drive by Harrisburg.
You would expect the ball to get put in the hands of one of those 2 tailbacks with a lead blocker and just force Harrisburg to stop. I like what Coach Wechter has done here. He's just like, even though we have the skill guys and a very experienced quarterback, let's just jam the ball at them until they stop us. And it's going to go to, they got double tight, that's what they're going to do.
So 3rd and 2 for a first from the 3-yard line. 3-yard line gives them 6, 2 yards gives them a first down. And they give the ball to Jones Davis, and he is short of the goal line, but has enough, I believe, for the first down. So 1st and goal should be coming up from the 1-yard line.
They're going to call it 4th and inches. And
okay, just short. Wow. Could you ask for a measurement? Coach Wechter's going to call timeout.
Well, I don't think you need a measurement because I think the first down is to the 1-yard line and they're not quite to the 1. So it's going to be, there are 10 seconds left in the half.
Take a look at the push from the line of scrimmage. The fullback, Dawson, 42, was in there trying to push, but good job by some of the big bodies of Harrisburg. Evans, big one, big number 72 there in the middle of that defensive line, was able to hold his ground. So 4th and inches.
And there are no timeouts left. So this is interesting. If you get the first down, the clock will stop to move the chains, but then they'll restart it. McDevitt could have time to potentially spike the ball.
You got to go to the end zone here, don't you think?
No, I think
play action.
No, I think
throw it to the end zone.
It's not a bad call, but I think I think they're going to try to run it
because I'm worried about the time running out on
Well, if the time runs out, you can spike it and still get one more play. So I'm running the football if I'm McDevitt.
All right, let's see what happens here.
And I'm giving it to big number 5 here.
Dawson,
and let Jones Davis do it.
Dawson is in front of Jones Davis.
Sneak.
And then sneak, Saunders ahead.
Wait a minute, we have a penalty.
He's in the end zone.
That may be illegal procedure.
Might be on Bishop McDevitt. We'll have to wait to see what Jeff White says.
If it is, the clock should go back to 10 seconds. Offsides defense.
Offsides on Harrisburg.
Now the clock still should go back to 10 seconds. It's going to be half the distance, which will give them a first down.
Yep, so 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. So the penalty gives them a 1st and goal. The football is sitting just inches away from the goal line.
Back to 10 seconds again. Now, if you're McDevitt, you can't run the football and not get it because you won't get another play. So that's the tough situation for them. They got to score on this down.
10 seconds to go in the first half. Saunders going to roll out, and
he's
he
not
is not getting in.
And that's it. That's
wow. What a great defensive stop by Brannon. Brannon was able to bring down Saunders, who tried to run around the outside and couldn't get in.
Oh, wait, they may at McDevitt. There's no timeouts on the scoreboard, but maybe they had a timeout left. I thought they were out of timeouts. I thought both teams were.
So Bishop McDevitt unable to get into the end zone as Saunders was tackled by Brannon. What an open field tackle by Quincy Brannon to come up and bring down Saunders.
It says 0 timeouts, referred to that a moment ago, on the scoreboard for both teams. I'm trying to think back when McDevitt I know Harrisburg had used all three. Feel like I can't remember. They must have only taken two. And
I think McDevitt
three.
Still had one timeout left.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're keeping it. Jeff White, the head official, veteran official. And now you got one play. Doesn't matter if you run or pass. Just got to try to get in the end zone with 6 seconds left. One chance at this.
Second chance for McDevitt.
They're going to throw it.
Saunders to throw.
He's got it.
Firing. Touchdown. Saunders finds Dominic Diaz-Ellis for the 1-yard touchdown to the final play of the first half. And Bishop McDevitt has their first touchdown in the renewed rivalry of the Battle of the Berg. And there is your Faulkner Honda touchdown. Take another look.
Watch the receiver. He comes in on a slant route and then goes back outside. And with that tight coverage, enough to get Sheffy on his inside shoulder, and a nice pass and catch there. Good route concept by the Crusaders on the goal line.
5th touchdown pass of the season for Saunders. He had 4 a week ago, and his first one here. The kick up by Grella is good. And Bishop McDevitt has a 10-6 lead. The end of the first half in the Battle of the Berg between Harrisburg and Bishop McDevitt, playing again for the first time since 2017. So we'll wait to see if we can get a word from Coach Everett, if he will stop and talk to us during the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. Be sure to watch for the PA Beef Council beef tip and recipe. It's also time for both teams to hit the showers with the West Shore home to the locker room. They'll go for halftime. And let's go down on the field to Coach Everett. Again, Coach, great effort by your team there with that opportunity to try to keep Bishop McDevitt out of the end zone. Just your thoughts on the way your team has played, especially the physicality of your team in the first half.
Right now, I can't ask much more of my guys. You know, we're fighting, and that's all I ask them to do is to play hard every single play, and that's what they're doing.
How about your young quarterback, Lewis, kind of growing up in front of our eyes? He had a pretty good first half.
Absolutely. Jayon's doing a great job. He stepped up, and he's doing exactly what we need him to do right now.
Second half, what are you going to tell your team? What needs to happen to be successful in the second half for you, Coach?
Just keep doing what we've been doing. Fighting, playing hard, every single play, and staying together.
Thank you, Calvin Everett, the head coach of the Harrisburg Cougars. We're at the half. Bishop McDevitt has a 10-6 lead. You are watching a special Saturday afternoon edition of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Coming up, your Focal Point Remodeling halftime report.
And Urgent Orthopedics. This is the Focal Point Remodeling Halftime Report.
So 2 touchdowns in the back half of the second quarter. Bishop McDevitt scored 11 plays, 63-yard drive. Saunders to Diaz Ellis for the go-ahead touchdown at the half. And that's where we are. 10-6. It's Harrisburg. It's Bishop McDevitt. The Battle of the Berg is back. Time to take a look at some of the best highlights from around the country from Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals. Enjoy these outstanding high school football highlights.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Parker makes the catch at the 2. The senior with some room. Weston Parker for CPA down the right sideline. One man to beat. Touchdown Lions. All right, BA will get a chance to answer now. Here they go. This is Neo Clifton with some room. Spinning out to the 40. Past midfield on his feet. Neo Clifton trying to answer with a kick 6 of his own.
Appreciate the hospitality once again, and Baylor Necessary in the Wildcat format, and he breaks through, and Baylor Necessary has some running room. Baylor Necessary is going to go 99 yards for the touchdown. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable.
Little jet sweep action to the outside. Oh, big hit. We got a fumble in the end zone?
Oh, boy, we've seen it all.
Goodness gracious. The jet sweep to Brody Tonin and a monster hit.
Mitchell scrambling, looking for Marvanus Butler. Brown made the catch inside the 20. A dime down to the 12. My goodness, Josh Stramborski.
Nothing like the Gatorade bath to end the highlights there. Who will get the Gatorade bath after this one? The Battle of the Berg. We are at the half. It's your Focal Point Remodeling halftime report. Bishop McDevitt has a 10-6 lead on Harrisburg High. Packed house on a Saturday afternoon at Rocco Ortenzio Field. We'll be back with more.
Oh, okay.
This is the Focal Point Remodeling halftime report.
Bishop McDevitt with a 10-6 lead over Harrisburg at the half. Time now for Schollenberger Januzzi Wolf LLP Scholar Athletes. For Harrisburg, Quincy Brannon, football, basketball, and track. Does an outstanding job in the classroom as well, and he's already made some big plays in the first half of this game. For Bishop McDevitt, Maxwell Henderson, a basketball player. He's one of the top GPAs in his class. These students chosen each week for the Scholar Athlete are eligible to win a $3,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Schollenberger Januzzi Wolf LLP, who are proud to support and encourage outstanding student athletes across central Pennsylvania. Congratulations to our Scholar Athletes today. We're at the half at Rocco Ortenzio Field. McDevitt with a 10-6 lead. You're watching the Focal Point Remodeling Halftime Report.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by EricBuysYourHouse.com.
The Focal Point Remodeling Halftime Report back at Bishop McDevitt on campus on a Saturday afternoon. Crusaders with a 10-6 lead on the Rivalry renewed, the battle for the Berg. Let's take a look at the first half highlights and how we got to this 10-6 halftime score. Our Focal Point Remodeling first half highlights: a 9-play, 60-yard drive, 29-yard field goal by Bishop McDevitt. Gorella made it 3-0. And then this pass play, Lewis to Koch all the way down to the 1-inch line, and Ewell ran it in, a 5-play, 77-yard drive. The first touchdown of the game. They missed the extra point, so it was 6-3. And then right before the half, the final play of the first half, Saunders to Diaz Ellis for the touchdown, 11-play, 63-yard drive, and that is the score at the half. McDevitt retakes the lead, and they lead it at the half, 10-6. Let's take a look at some first half numbers. For your thoughts on the first half and some of these numbers on the big board.
Well, I think Harrisburg's defense has done a nice job of bending but not breaking and limiting McDevitt, which had a field goal prior to the last play. It sort of felt like McDevitt had a touchdown or even like around 10 to 14 points by halftime. And Harrisburg's defense is coming up big, bending but not breaking, as we said. I think also nobody's turned the ball over yet.
Yep, McDevitt has done the job on the ground with their two running backs, 139 yards rushing between Jones, Davis, and Barnes. So Harrisburg's going to have to figure out a way to slow that down. And Saunders has been quiet, had that touchdown pass, but only has 45 yards passing.
And Harrisburg started to pick up that running game there, their last possession, I thought, before that touchdown.
More to come. Bishop McDevitt has a 10-6 lead at the half. The Focal Point Remodeling Halftime Report. We'll be back with more from Bishop McDevitt High School. We've been waiting for this all week. Matter of fact, we've been waiting for this for many years. Finally, the Battle of the Berg is back. First time since 2017. Harrisburg and Bishop McDevitt. We're at the half with the Crusaders up 10-6 on the Cougars. Phil Shaner alongside Ford Chapman for this game this afternoon. Coming up next week, we'll be back on Friday night in the Commonwealth. Cedar Cliff and Central Dauphin East next week for you. That is the matchup, 2-0 teams, so that should be interesting. Cedar Cliff with a big overtime win last night over Central Dauphin, 21-13, and CD East, the Panthers took care of Chambersburg 50-2. That's the game we'll have for you next week. So let's go down to the field to Coach Wechter. Coach, you were able to run the football and pound the rock in the first half. Just talk about the way your offensive line performed and those two running backs, Barnes and Jones-Davis.
Running backs are running great. The offensive line, we did a great job early in the game, and then they start taking some control midway through, but that last drive, our guys really dug deep and really started doing a good job, and of course our backs are doing a great job. So we're trying to wear them down a little bit.
One final thing, the message at the locker room, what will it take to come out with a victory here this afternoon?
I could tell you, but LaShawn McCoy's addressed the team, so he did the halftime speech.
I love it. I'm sure he had some great words. Coach, best of luck to you in the second half. All right, Coach Wechter with Shady McCoy addressed the team at the half. And I would say that's some motivation when you have an NFL great addressing the team at the half. Let's see how they come out and respond to whatever Shady McCoy said to them at the half. And I imagine it was probably an emotional message because he knows the rivalry of this Harrisburg-McDevitt matchup.
Well, I'm sure the McDevitt, the coaches went over some adjustments and things they want to try to do, both offensively, defensively.
I mean, you said it a couple of times, the way Harrisburg was set up defensively, until they can stop the running attack, McDevitt's just going to keep pounding the football.
Yes, they are. And the one thing I want to see here in the third quarter is what Harrisburg does offensively, because this quarterback seems to be getting more confidence. We obviously know the McDevitt quarterback is phenomenal, and he's going to continue to throw great balls, and they're going to continue to mix run and pass. And on the other side, as I mentioned, Harrisburg, late in that first half on that touchdown drive, they put another back in the backfield and got a really nice run prior to the long pass to Koch. So let's see if they can start to do it. We may get the offenses open up here a little bit and get some more points on the board.
McDevitt leads this series in the last 15 meetings with Harrisburg 11-4, and since 1982 when the Mid-Penn Conference was formed, McDevitt leads the series 21-15, but the last game played was a big shutout win, 35-0 for Harrisburg in 2017. A couple of scores from last night around the region. I mentioned already that Cedar Cliff beat Central Dauphin in overtime 21-13. Also, Cumberland Valley shut out Carlisle 35-0. Trinity over East Pennsboro 37-14. Lower Dauphin shut out Redland 14-0. Susquehanna Township over Greencastle 35-13. Judiana over Steel High 29-14. And we had Cocalico last week. They beat E-Town on Friday Night Rivals a week ago. They lost to New Oxford last night 21-0. And Ephrata beat Manheim Central 31-14. Just some of the scores from week number 2 of high school football from last evening. This is fun. We have ourselves a game, and you said last week when we were at Cocalico, wait until you see the intensity of a McDevitt-Harrisburg matchup, and it has lived up to the intensity and the excitement from the crowd, from the players. Everyone's ready to go for this one.
Yes, it has. And if you, even just looking around this beautiful stadium, the fence the whole way around the scoreboard end side, all the way to the Harrisburg sideline, all the way over to the McDevitt sideline, is 1 to 2 to 3 deep. And a lot of people, all ages, really, really enjoy this big-time rivalry that once was right down the street from one another and now is several miles away.
Second half should be a lot of fun, and that is coming to you soon here from Rocco Ortenzio Stadium at Bishop McDevitt High School. So one of the big things we talked about at the opening, that one of the Cougars' top linemen, one of the top linemen in the state, the Penn State commit, the junior, Kevin Brown, 6'5", 270-pound, was injured in practice Thursday, has a boot on his leg. He was all-state first team, both on offense and defense, a year ago. So he could not play. He's not playing, out with a big injury, and that was our big story at the top. And they're certainly missing him. And of course, besides that, Harrisburg also would have loved to have Sean Lee Jr. as their quarterback, but a few days before the season started, his appeal to the PIAA was denied. So he has moved on, the Pitt commit, to play at Milford Academy. And the young quarterback, Lewis, made some nice passes in the first quarter and the first half.
Yeah, as I recently said, Lewis is showing some promise, and I'm anxious to see what he does here in this third quarter. But first, Harrisburg is going to have to kick the ball off to McDevitt and have that defense try to get a stop. They're down 4 right now. They don't want to fall behind by 2 scores on this initial second half possession. So let's see what happens.
How about Harrisburg not under the Friday night lights? They only have 2 games in their 10-game regular season schedule on Friday nights. Of course, their home their home games are played on Saturday afternoon, but the way it matches up with other opponents, they only have 2 Friday night games this year, at Cedar Cliff and then at Central Dauphin at Landis Field. The rest are afternoon games on a Saturday for the Cougars. You were so fired up about this game, you went to Harrisburg High expecting a game there at the stadium this morning.
I don't know what I'll tell you after this kickoff here.
There is our Good Feet store kickoff to start the second half, and the Crusaders will have it first. A big return, huge return across midfield to the 40, the 30, the 20, 15, 10, and finally knocked out of bounds at the 5-yard line. Palmer with the return. Huge return for Palmer. No flags down, and what a start for the second half. Here's Palmer's long return for McDevitt.
Watch it from his viewpoint. Keeps his legs churning. Never slows down a beat. All the way down to the 3-yard line. Great play.
88 yards on the kickoff return to start this second half by Palmer, and puts Bishop McDevitt inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone, looking for their second touchdown of the game. They had one on the final play of the second quarter, and what a way to start the third quarter. Palmer goes 88 yards on the kickoff return.
Expect Maurice Barnes out of that double tight I formation. There it is.
Barnes gets the handoff, runs right side towards the end zone, and he's in. 3-yard touchdown run by Barnes after the 88-yard kickoff return by Palmer. And that is a Faulkner Honda touchdown. What a way to start the second half for McDevitt.
Both these teams are notorious for quick strikes, and that kickoff return enabled McDevitt to get a quick strike. And quickly, a double-digit lead for the Crusaders. Right now 10, most likely 11 after this kick.
Garella in for the extra point. The kick is up, and the kick is good. That fast. McDevitt is on the board again, so they have scored 2 touchdowns, one right at the end of the second quarter, and then one play into this second half. They are now up 17-6. It is time now for Mustache Cam. Barber Styling Institute, looking for some of the best mustaches in the stadium today. Barber Styling Institute. Yeah, you have to search for these mustaches. Search the crowd for the best mustache that's out there. There's a full-grown beard. Our Mustache Cam, brought to you by Barber Styling Institute. So after the Palmer 88-yard kickoff return, Barnes one play in from 3 yards out. And now it is a 17-6 lead by Bishop McDevitt. 3 phases in football, right? Special teams are important, and it was big for McDevitt. Here is another kickoff presented by the Good Feet store, as McDevitt will kick it to Harrisburg in the end zone, and they'll take it at the 20. Touchback, 1st and 10 for Harrisburg from the 20-yard line.
Forever, you can't return a kickoff out of the end zone in high school football. I've never liked that rule, but that's what it is. Get the ball at the 20. Yeah, back to what you were saying, Phil. I knew that I've been telling people this game's at McDevitt at noon all week long, and I got in my car this morning, and at 10:45 a.m. I show up to Severance Field,
and no one was there.
Realized nobody was there. My mind was too much on the old school. I think up and down the street, McDevitt Harrisburg rivalry from earlier years.
I believe it. Remarkable home buyers scoring drive, one play, 3 yards. Barnes with the touchdown to make it 17-6. McDevitt with the lead. See what Harrisburg can do. Lewis, the quarterback, will keep it himself up the middle. Lewis has running room across midfield. It's a foot race for Lewis to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Lewis! He goes 80 yards for the touchdown, right up the middle. Your Faulkner Honda touchdown, an 80-yard touchdown run by Lewis. What speed from the youngster.
We go into halftime, it's 10-6, and all of a sudden we have McDevitt striking quickly, and the Cougars right back.
Lewis growing up in front of our eyes. Number 5 running for 6. For Harrisburg. What a strike back after McDevitt's quick start to the third quarter. We got ourselves a game again.
And here's Harrisburg for the extra point. They're missing guys on the field. This is a little detail that you got to correct here. They need to have 11 out here. Here they come.
Late getting on the field after that electric run by Lewis. An 80-yard touchdown to match Bishop McDevitt's score. So Lopez on for the extra point for the Cougars. Can he put it through? Hit the uprights his last attempt. This one is up and through. So what a response by the Cougars. 80 yards, the young quarterback heads to the end zone. Bishop McDevitt leads it 17-13. We'll be back after this. What a start to this third quarter. 2 plays that really were the difference. Went for 168 yards. The 88-yard punt return or kickoff return by Palmer that led to the Barnes touchdown. And then Lewis takes it 80 yards for Harrisburg for the touchdown. And it's 17-13. The Battle of the Berg and another Good Feet Store kickoff. Harrisburg will kick it to Bishop McDevitt.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get a squib kick here. I can't see Harrisburg kicking that ball deep this time again.
Palmer is back to receive the kick, and they listen to for Chapman. A little squib kick taken at the 22-yard line. Cross the 35 to the 40-yard line, and that's where Bishop McDevitt will have the ball. Let's take a look at our remarkable home buyers scoring summary. Pretty easy to sum up. Just one play. It goes for 80 yards. The quarterback pulls it out of Yule's belly, and then he goes and shows the speed. 80 yards for the touchdown. One play and 6 yards and 6 points on the board for Harrisburg. So it's 17-13. McDevitt with the lead over Harrisburg High.
Really nice mesh point there for all the young players out there. Quarterback, he's riding that running back with the football and that mesh, and then he pulls it out the last moment. And sometimes that's tough to see for a defense.
And then he used his speed. He was gone. First handoff right up the middle. Jones-Davis spinning. They had him for a loss, but his second and third effort gave him some positive yards by Jones-Davis. Tough run.
Kept his feet churning. You got to like that effort, no doubt about it. The junior running back. Watch his second effort. 2 guys, 3 guys.
Yep, too many missed tackles by Harrisburg. Swoop did a good job to keep going and get a positive run. And a second down and 7 after would have been a 2-yard loss turned into a 3-yard gain.
Double tight, double flanker. We haven't seen this set yet.
Saunders to throw, incomplete. Got it out quickly, but Pretty good coverage by Brannon, and was looking for Quick, and incomplete. Saunders now with a 1 touchdown pass here today, just needs 7 to break Alex Irby's record of 167 career touchdown passes. A couple other marks that Saunders wants to get before his high school career is over, before going off to Kentucky next year. Saunders, a lot of time to throw, now rolls to the right. Eyes are still downfield, still looking downfield. Fires and has the completion to Quick at the 46-yard line, and that's good enough for a 1-800-GOT-JUNK first down. Good catch by Quick. Did he have it?
It did hit the ground. It did hit the ground.
So if you go to replay, they take it
definitely
away.
Definitely hit the ground, but with 5 officials, it's awfully tough. I said it last week, Phil. When Elizabethtown had a catch that was dropped. They called it a catch and a fumble, and Cocalico recovered and scored their 3rd touchdown to go up by 3 scores.
1st and 10 from the 46 for Bishop McDevitt in Cougar territory. Barnes with the carry. Across the 45 down to the 44-yard line, so a couple of yards by Barnes. Barnes had the 3-yard touchdown run to start this 3rd quarter to put Bishop McDevitt up 17-6 until Lewis answered with his 80-yard touchdown run.
Phil, I bring that up. Nothing negative on the officials. It's just a lot of ground to cover nowadays. With the game has changed, a lot more spread sets. The ball's all over the place. A lot of wideouts running down the field, and with 5 officials, it can be awfully tough to see those kind of things.
2nd and 7 for Saunders from the gun. Hands it off to Jones Davis. He is tackled right at the line of scrimmage, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Good job by the big man Plant, big number 64 for Harrisburg.
Now, once we hit the playoffs, district and state playoffs, there are 7 officials, which makes it a lot easier. We have a cramp down here, Quincy Brandon Jr.
Yeah, Brandon Jr., who is our scholar athlete for Harrisburg this week, is down with a cramp.
It's so important for athletes to stay hydrated and drink electrolytes, but even water, just get a lot of, even when you're not thirsty.
Hydration should start on Monday. That's what I had a lot of coaches tell me.
Absolutely, and you just got to keep at it, because even if you're not thirsty, you just keep drinking that water when you're going to, especially in this heat of the first few weeks of the season. This isn't an exceptionally hot day per se, but those cramps can get you, and once they hit, tough to go away, and they're going to come back usually. That's a difficult situation for an athlete, especially a skilled person.
Cloudy conditions, temperature of 77 degrees with a wind gust of about 13 miles an hour here.
3rd and 7.
Here's Saunders on the 3rd and 7. Flushed out of the pocket and throws it away. Harrisburg would like an intentional grounding call.
They're saying number 2's nearby, which he somewhat was. Diaz Ellis, the senior receiver.
Yep, number 2, Dominic Diaz Ellis was there, so no intentional grounding, but a 4th down and a punting situation for Bishop McDevitt. So they will have to punt the ball back to Harrisburg. Hill back to receive the punt. Oh, Hill touched it and went to the end zone, so it'll be a touchback, and the Cougars will have the football there. Time to raise the roof. Abel and Son Roofing, and before you sign, call us as we raise the roof with the Harrisburg band in the house on the far side, raising the roof with Abel and Son Roofing, a proud sponsor of Friday Night Rivals, this Saturday edition, the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedic Friday Night Rivals. Abel and Son Roofing. Before you sign, call us, raising the roof.
That play we just saw, Phil, on that punt return, that's one rule that really helps a returner, that he muffed that punt.
And it's okay because it goes in the end zone.
Good to the end zone, yes, and it's automatic touchback out to the 20.
Otherwise, that would be really bad.
Yeah. Anywhere else in the field, that could have potentially been disastrous, but not there.
So Lewis ran the ball 80 yards, the quarterback did, for a touchdown last offensive series for the Cougars. Let's see what they do now. Mickens in the backfield.
They're going
with
for Coke.
Lewis going downfield looking for Coke. Has him at midfield. Coke with the catch.
He's gone.
It's a foot race. And back-to-back 80-yard touchdowns. Lewis ran one in. Now he threw it to Coke for the 80-yard touchdown. Big play, Cougars. That's your Faulkner Honda touchdown. Lewis to Coke. And yes, the Cougars coming up with back-to-back big plays.
Harrisburg had big play potential. As you see the replay here, just go back and let it fly. Force McDevitt to get more coverage than just one guy. A guy and a half in that case on Cope, and he's gone.
Wow, Lewis growing up in front of our eyes, an 80-yard touchdown run, now an 80-yard touchdown pass to Coke. Coke, who had 12 touchdowns a year ago, has his first of this season. And Lewis, who caught a touchdown pass last week.
Oh my goodness.
Throws one this week. Lopez with the point after.
Got to snap it again. Harrisburg had a guy running onto the field late. The holder did not see him, and they snapped the ball while he was running onto the field. So they're going to back it up 5 yards. It's going to be, they have to make this extra point from the, snapping from the 8-yard line. That's a legal motion, obviously. Early in the season, special teams, who's on the field, who's off the field, those things have happened all the games that we've been around the past 2 weeks.
2 plays for Harrisburg in the second half and 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's effective big play offense for the Cougars. Lopez on to try the extra point. This extra point will be a little deeper than normal. 26-yard extra point coming for Lopez after the 80-yard touchdown pass play. The extra point is up, and it is no good. So Harrisburg back on top, 19-7 with the score.
And McDevitt with a phenomenal kicker. That puts them down 2, so a field goal can take the lead.
CBS 21 later this afternoon, 3:30. College football is back, Akron and Ohio State. Then tonight, 7:30, UCLA and Hawaii. College football coming up on CBS 21. So Harrisburg took a 6-3 lead midway through the second quarter. They missed the extra point on the Ewell 1-yard touchdown, and now they have 2 touchdowns here in this second half. The Lewis 80-yard touchdown run on the quarterback keeper, and then Lewis's 80-yard touchdown pass to Elias Koch, and they're dancing on the Harrisburg side.
Harrisburg High School originated in 1971-72 school year when John Harris and William Penn, the 2 city schools, joined together. They became the Cougars, took the gray from John Harris and the black from William Penn, and the black and gray Harrisburg Cougars. They have had tons of skill players over the last all those decades. But what makes them even more of an offensive juggernaut now is the way they run the spread offense. And they get their athletes the ball in space the last few years better than ever before in the last decade or so. And it showed right there twice.
Harrisburg has been to the state championship game 3 times in the last 8 years. There's a muff kick. And Bishop McDevitt will have good field position. They didn't want to kick it to Palmer because the last time they did, Palmer burnt them for an 88-yard run. Let's take a look at our remarkable home buyers scoring summary. It's pretty simple. For the second straight offensive series for Harrisburg, 1 play and the touchdown. This time Lewis to Koch, a foot race. Koch is in the end zone. He was there 12 times last year. He gets his first touchdown of this season for Elias Koch. So good field position to start here for Bishop McDevitt, who trail again in this game 19-17 with 9:17 to go, third quarter. Saunders working out of the shotgun. He's worked out of the shotgun most of the day.
Go. They're going for the home run.
Let's see, Saunders downfield looking for Diaz Ellis, and great coverage by Williams, number 3. He was the closest to that football. Dominic Diaz Ellis. Saunders threw it about 5 yards past him, and Williams was the one there in coverage.
several of these McDevitt coaches, obviously Coach Wechter and a few of his assistants, including his brother, they've coached in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth with this Bishop McDevitt program, and they know what it's like week in and week out. But a lot of these players don't know what it's like week in and week out to play these more physical football teams.
Second down, screen pass set up. Barnes with the catch. Barnes in Cougar territory, and he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the screen pass, and a 3rd and short coming up for the Crusaders after the screen.
I bring that up because throughout the Keystone lately, as we see the screenplay replay, the Crusaders, Phil, have had their way a lot of times with the majority of the teams in the Keystone, and a lot of those games were over by halftime.
And that's a big point, because guys like Stone Saunders and last year Rico Scott, they were done after a half of football usually.
That's right. That's right.
So, you know, as far as Stone would love to try to take another Irby record, Irby has the record for 61 touchdown passes in a season. Saunders would like to get that. Last year he had 56 touchdowns, but as you mentioned,
that's amazing.
He didn't play that much. He usually played in the division play because they were beating everyone. He would only play maybe a little bit into the 3rd quarter. Sometimes he would only play the first half. So, so maybe he'll have a more opportunity because he'll be playing longer against teams in the Commonwealth.
Yes, that's a good point. And McDevitt would play a game or two out of the conference that was usually pretty big ball games, and then obviously when they get to the playoffs, some of those games were really tough opponents. And as you alluded to, 2 years ago, McDevitt went the whole way, 2 seasons ago, went the whole way and won the state title over Aliquippa after having lost to them the year before.
Yeah, and that was sweet for Coach Wechter because he was there, 5 state championship appearances and took him to that 6th one until he got that victory over Aliquippa 2 years ago. And last year, of course, their season ended in a double overtime loss to Dallas High School in the state semifinals, and Aliquippa went on to beat Dallas to win the state title last year. And now, of course, Bishop McDevitt is up to Class 5A, so they were playing in that 4A classification. And, of course, Harrisburg plays out of the 6A classification in the PIAA. So a 3rd and short now coming up for Bishop McDevitt, who trail this game 19-17 after 2 dynamic big plays by the Cougars. The Lewis 80-yard touchdown and then the 80-yard touchdown pass, Lewis to Koch.
And Jones Davis is going to get it here on an ISO. There's no doubt about this.
Jones Davis gets it. Does he get the first? Second effort gets him the first down. Across the 40 he goes, all the way down to the 35-yard line. So a pickup of 7 yards by Jones Davis. Only needed a few for the 1-800 got junk first down and got 7 to the 35.
Tackling early in the year sometimes is a little bit suspect, and you're seeing it here. You got to wrap up these on both sides. You got to wrap up these skill players.
1st and 10 from the 35 for McDevitt.
That's going to be a penalty if they don't get set.
And there's a penalty as they give the ball to Jones Davis, and the flag comes out of Jeff White's pocket.
Illegal motion. You had 2 McDevitt players in the backfield moving at the same time, and both of them have to get set. I had a thing I developed, just a little wrinkle I developed. I would tell our players, if 2 people move and you say, check was our keyword. You got to have a code word. Scream it out. The quarterback will say check. Everybody gets set again, and then start the play, get the motion going again. If not, you're going to have a 5-yard penalty like you saw right there.
So if 2 people move at the same time, you yell check.
And everybody got set.
They just then get reset?
That's correct. And then start the play again. But if you don't yell check, then one guy stops, but the other guy never stops, and then it's going to be a penalty. That's what happened right there.
Here's Jeff Wechter. His first head coaching job was at Lebanon Catholic. He was there from 1993 to 97. Of course, that school closed down a few years ago. And then he came to Bishop McDevitt, had a lot of success here at McDevitt. That is Jones Davis on the run, and he gets a couple of yards. It's going to be 2nd and 9 coming up for Bishop McDevitt after the Jones Davis 6-yard run. Brown made the stop and Lewis in on the stop for the Cougars. 2nd and 9 coming up for Bishop McDevitt. Down 19-17 with 7:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter. This highly anticipated rivalry renewed, the Battle of the Bird. T-shirts were sold, bragging rights are on the line. A lot riding on this game for this community here in Harrisburg between these two schools.
Seven-man box for the Cougars.
And Saunders is probably going to throw it, and he will. Has plenty of time to throw. He's pointing, firing to the end zone, and he had the man. He had Quick open, but Quick ran out of real estate.
You bring up the Battle of the Berg t-shirts. We started that for the first time way back in 1995 when both teams had exceptional talent. Game was played at McDevitt. McDevitt ended up pulling it out right at the end in a last-minute drive, 12-7.
Yeah, there were some good ones. How about that 1999 game? Harrisburg won that one in overtime, 36-35. That was a great one. They've also met in the playoffs a few times as well. McDevitt has won most of those playoff meetings the last couple of years. They won in the opening round in 2009 and won in the quarterfinals in 2006 when they met in the playoffs. So third down for Saunders. Pocket is clean, fires, and has the completion. Shy of the 20-yard line, and that is enough for a first down. Diaz Ellis with the grab.
There's a perfect example of how a veteran quarterback with a lot of skill, he threw that ball to the sideline on 3rd and 9, right on the money, and enough for the first down. And plays like that keep drives alive, and they're not easy to do.
Saunders, is he SEC ready? Will he be make an impact at Kentucky? I know he's excited about it.
Well, hopefully.
I mean, his father was a longtime athletic trainer for the Baltimore Ravens, and he's been working a long time, his whole life basically, for these opportunities. And moments like this against Harrisburg High. This time he hands it off to Jones Davis, who gets across and gets right to the 20-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain. But it's been nice to watch Saunders. His freshman year, he completed 64% of his passes, threw for over 3,000 yards. He had 46 passing touchdowns as a freshman.
Yeah, that's remarkable.
He's only thrown 15 interceptions in his career, in his high school career.
We're seeing players for Harrisburg go down with cramps very often now, and that's something that, as we mentioned, usually doesn't go in. I'll come back again throughout the game for that particular player.
They had a lot of cramping last week when they were home, and when they faced LaSalle College in that 45-7 lead. They had a ton of cramping a week ago on a much hotter Saturday afternoon last week. By the way, that LaSalle College team, big win for them last night, 21-17 over Melbourne Prep. So LaSalle College is a real deal in 6A. They're off to a 2-0 start.
You alluded to that 99 game, Harrisburg and McDevitt, the overtime game. That was a situation where McDevitt came in as a multiple touchdown favorite, and the Harrisburg players just believed in one another, stuck together, were down the majority of the game, and just came back, found a way to score 2 touchdowns in the last quarter and a little bit of change, and then ended up getting that game to overtime and scored on 4th and goal from the 9. Bragan Moore hit James Thompson in the right corner of the end zone on a fade. And then Harrisburg went for 2, and Bragan Moore pulled it out of Augie Glass's belly and kept it, got over by about half a yard, and Harrisburg pulled that one out. And then since then, McDevitt went on a run over the Cougars, and then there's a little back and forth, and then this rivalry stopped for a little bit because of the difference of levels in the mid-pen. And it's great to have this back. It's going to be every year now because McDevitt and Cedar Cliff are both back in the Commonwealth Division.
Jones Davis so far, 138 yards rushing for Bishop McDevitt. They fire him and carry him off to sideline the Harrisburg player, so we can continue play here. That young man in a lot of pain, being taken care of on the far sideline. Now 2nd down for Bishop McDevitt, 2nd and 9 from the 21 in Cougar territory, with McDevitt trailing 19-17. We've had a low-scoring first half. It was 10-6, and then things got wild in this 3rd quarter. A lot of big plays. Let's see what the senior quarterback can dial up for Bishop McDevitt. Sends a man in motion. And they give the handoff to the hot hand, Jones Davis, right up the middle. Gets to the 18-yard line on that run.
Not bad defense by the Cougars, but if you notice, once again, the initial tackler, the running back, is not stopped at the point of contact. He keeps his legs moving and picks up an extra 2.5 yards. That means a lot. So we're in here we are, 3rd and what about 6? If you don't get much here, let's say they'd like to throw it, which I think they will. They're in an empty set. You don't get anything. Are you going to kick a field goal if you're Jeff Wechter? Or are you in 4-down territory? Because a field goal will take a 1-point lead.
3rd and 6 from the 19. Saunders to throw, pumps a couple of times, and then he is brought down and sacked for a 1-yard loss. The defense comes in and gets the sack, the first sack of the day for the Harrisburg defenses. He was brought down at the 20. Look at the pressure coming in on Saunders.
Great job by the Harrisburg front group. Jeff Wechter didn't even hesitate. I was looking at him down there. He said, we're going field goal. It's a lot of confidence in this kicker. They're going to need a holder out there.
Lewis was in on the sack. Isaac John Lewis got the sack for the Cougars. 4th down, and they're going to try a field goal. Morella in for the attempt. This will be a 37-yard field goal attempt. Snap is... Ball is down, and Gorilla hits the 37-yard field goal. So he has 2 field goals in the game. He had one to start the game to give him a 3-0 lead, and now puts him ahead by 1. Bishop McDevitt retakes the lead by 1. You're watching a special Saturday edition of Friday Night Rivals. Nine-play drive for Bishop McDevitt. They retake the lead. Morella's 37-yard field goal, and it's 20-19. Time for another Good Feet Store kickoff. McDevitt kicking to Harrisburg. In the end zone will be another touchback. Coming up next week, we'll be back on Friday night for week 3 of the high school football season. We'll stay in the Commonwealth. Coach Gillen's Cedar Cliff Colts, 2-0 against Coach Dean's 2-0 Central Dauphin East Panthers. Will be at Landis Field next week for 2-0 teams. So that should be a lot of fun. You got to see Cedar Cliff last night, and what did you think of the Colts?
Yeah, nice mixture of run and pass, and they were able to battle there at the end, and they were down 6, went the length of the field, and on a 3rd and 10, had about a 15, 16-yard touchdown pass, which on a delay from the right to the left side of the field to what would have taken the lead, but then they had a bad snap, and the game 13-all. Game went to overtime, and they ended up scoring a touchdown, going for 2 and getting it, and then held Central Dauphin and won by 8.
Lewis 1st and 10 from the 20, drops the snap and then hands it to Mickens, who goes forward but loses a yard. So a tackle for a loss by the Bishop McDevitt defense.
Very impressive drive there by the Crusaders after falling behind to spurn that momentum and get back on the lead.
Danny Lasana, the defensive coordinator for Bishop McDevitt, has NFL experience with the Packers, Dolphins, Lions, Jets, and Buccaneers. And Danny had a birthday on Wednesday. Danny turned 38. Happy birthday to the defensive coordinator of the Crusaders. 2nd and 11 for the Cougars, who are nothing but big play offense in this second half. Quick hitter to Koch, who has the catch at the 21-yard line. So Lewis to Koch for the quick completion.
Good defense there. What McDevitt's doing right now, they're over on Koch more than just one man. So they're basically playing him under and over the top in a zone look on that play, which means for Harrisburg, you got to go away from Koch. You're now getting the defense to overcommit to him. Now you got to go with somebody else.
Crummel in on that stop for the McDevitt defense.
McDevitt's basically saying, we're not going to let Koch beat us right now.
3rd and 8 from the 23. Mickens couldn't hold on to the pass and incomplete, trying to get him out of the backfield. Maybe looked upfield before he caught it. So incomplete pass, 4th down coming up for the Cougars from their 22.
Another cramp, this time a McDevitt player.
3:34 to go, 3rd quarter. We have a 1-point game.
Oh, and look who has a cramp right now, Jack Dawson.
The fullback, and also one of the defensive players, one of the linebackers, or one of the D linemen, I should say. Last year had 24 tackles on defense.
I assume his dad is Dave. There are several brothers. Dave Dawson was a phenomenal running back here for the Crusaders in the late 90s, early 2000s, and went to the University of Buffalo. Really tough, hard-nosed runner with speed.
4th down for the Cougars. Koch will do the punting for them, and Quick is back to receive the punt at the 45-yard line for Bishop McDevitt. 1-point game. Crusaders back in the lead by 1. Koch's punt, high, takes a bounce at the 48-yard line and rolls down at the 45, and that's where Bishop McDevitt and Stone Saunders will have the football.
We talk about little things all the time. There's a little thing. McDevitt's punt returner has to have a code word, poison, Peter, whatever it is, and you got to yell it out because you see her. Because if you don't keep screaming it and screaming it, especially when there's a big crowd, all it has to do is hit one of your players and it's a live ball. And Harrisburg could have jumped on that there. Those other players that are blocking, if they hear that call, they got to get out of the way and make sure that football doesn't. It came very close to hitting a Crusader player. And that would have been a field position shift and a momentum shift had Harrisburg jumped on that if it would have hit him.
Well, Bishop McDevitt put 10 points on the board here in this 2nd half after the Palmer 88-yard kickoff return. Barnes scored from 3 yards out, and then the 37-yard field goal, the 10 points for them. And there is the freshman, Lawler Jr., with the catch out of the backfield.
Good defense by the Cougars, obviously, but I can't say another cramp. I can't say how many times today that there's not a wrap-up on contact.
Yeah.
The tackler needs to wrap. Watch here. Make contact.
Ooh.
Out of control, drop your head. That's what you got to come under control as a tackler.
So that is LaRue Jr., the freshman that they're very excited about.
And don't get me wrong, a great play by, I think it was Ewell there, being the first guy there. It's great anticipation. But if you don't make a wrap-up tackle, these athletes are too good. They're going to bounce off that and keep running.
So 2nd down for McDevitt. Back to LaRue Jr., the 5'9", 165-pound freshman. His verbals already to Virginia Tech and Syracuse. Said his most natural, well-rounded running back, speed, power, agility. Was big with the Central Penn Crusaders of that Capital Football League. Put on a show there. The younger version of midget football for LaRue, and now here at Bishop McDevitt had 7 carries for 31 yards last week, and that was his first touch of the ball in this battle for the Berg matchup here today. 2nd down, Saunders. Handoff given to Barnes. Barnes shy of midfield, tackled at the 48-yard line.
More times than not in this 3rd down and 6, 7, 8, 9-yard range, which they're in right now, McDevitt is. The veteran quarterback, Stone Saunders, has found a way to find an open receiver, and a lot of times it's with his strong arm towards the sidelines. Let's see if they run another type of out route here and use Saunders' strength of his arm ability to throw it for a completion.
2 minutes to go, 3rd quarter, 3rd and 7.
Here it is.
Saunders, is he in? Does he have the catch? He does, and that's a 1st down. Diaz Ellis comes back and makes a great catch at the 41-yard line. That's a 1-800-GOT-JUNK 1st down, 11-yard pickup for the first. Saunders to Diaz Ellis.
Watch him here. He drives the defensive back out. It's tough to see whether he caught that or not. It looks like he got his hands under. It's very tough, right on the sidelines.
1:56 to go in this 3rd quarter. McDevitt with a 1-point lead and driving the football now. And there's a penalty marker that just came out from the far sideline. It's going to be a sideline warning on the Cougars. Things are getting chippy. You would think that. They've waited since 2017 to renew this rivalry, and Two teams battling it on this Saturday afternoon in a one-point football game.
Watch here. We're going to show it again here. It's really tough to see. I think it is a catch. It looks like it just, now you can't tell if the back of his legs were out of bounds as he's going down there. It's really, really tough.
Great look by the truck.
His elbows are down. Very tough. He may have, part of his body may have been out of bounds. That's where replay is so important in football. Obviously at the high school level, we don't have it yet and may never have it. But they'd be looking at that in the college game over and over again to see if that were with multiple angles, by the way.
Well, we had multiple plays that probably would have went to replay today, right?
No doubt.
There's been
No
a couple of plays that
they would have gone to replay.
Definitely
no doubt.
went to replay to see if they could confirm them up or not.
But that throw, most high school quarterbacks can't make that throw. Along the sidelines there, down that far, about 15 yards down the field. That's a, oh my, that was not just that's a 15-yard penalty.
So unsportsmanlike penalty on the Cougars on that sideline, and that'll give Bishop McDevitt a first down via the penalty and give him a 1st and 10 from the 26-yard line after the penalty on the Cougars sideline. Saunders hands the football off. And not much there at all as Jones Davis was thrown down.
By Brandon. No, it looks like, excuse me, by Mickens.
Yeah, Mickens gets back to the line of scrimmage after the Mickens tackle. No gain on that run. So 2nd and 10 coming up.
We have so many players cramping. It's almost on every play now from both sides.
77 degrees, the temperature here. A little bit of a wind and of course a lot of cloud cover. No sign of the sun, but as we mentioned many times, hydration is a major issue with athletes, especially early part of the season. They are not starting their hydration process early. How about acting water boy today for Harrisburg High is Kevin Brown, the big guy, out on the field with his boot, helping out his teammates as much as he can. He would love to be out on this field, the junior.
I'm sure.
But the injury happened to him in practice.
There he is, right
unable
there.
to play. Yep, he's handling the water and trying to keep his guys motivated and hydrated. The big man, Penn State commit, Kevin Brown, injured and unable to play in this game. The 6'5", 270-pound junior, all-state first-teamer last year.
Okay, we got the clock rolling, and McDevitt here in a 2nd and 10 situation after that nice stop by the Harrisburg defense against that run.
2nd and 10 from the 26. McDevitt with a 1-point lead, looking to add to that. Play action. Saunders rolls to the right, eyes downfield, and incomplete. Was looking for Diaz Ellis, not enough real estate. Could have thrown that one to Shady McCoy. He was open, but out of bounds on the sideline, and he doesn't have any eligibility left.
Good job defensively there by the Harrisburg pass rush and pass coverage. And then the rush, sort of, as the quarterback, Saunders, came to his right, not really enough room to run, so he let it fly out of bounds on purpose to just play another down, live and play another down. It's 3rd and 10.
Got to give a lot of credit to this Harrisburg defense. Last week against LaSalle, the Rutgers commit Gavin Sidewar really lit him up. Threw 4 touchdown passes, 268 yards. But Harrisburg's done a great job today against Saunders, who's an outstanding quarterback. Saunders is going to tuck it and run it and slides forward for the 1st down. So he gets 11 yards, and Saunders moves the chains and gets his team inside the Keystone Fireplace red zone.
5 wideouts on that route. Saunders early saw that he had a gap, and he took it. Heady play. This kid has a lot of field awareness.
1st and 10 now from the 14-yard line, working in the Keystone Fireplace red zone. Saunders scans the field, throws it away, and incomplete. Little miscommunication with his wide receivers. Coach Wechter was talking about all the work that Saunders did with this young wide receiver group. Of course, they lost Rico Scott from last year, who's down at Alabama and a couple other receivers. So Saunders worked a lot individually, and Coach Wechter said sometimes he doesn't like that if he's not there to supervise because bad habits happen. But he said Stone Saunders is like another coach on the field, so he trusts him to make sure that the wide receivers he was working with were doing the right things.
Yeah, it's great to have a multi-year veteran skill player, especially a quarterback, to do those type of things, no doubt.
Second down, they hand off to Jones Davis, who's well over 100 yards rushing today. Gets across the 10 down to the 9-yard line on the Jones Davis run for swoop. Jones Davis last year was just shy of 1,000 yards, very close to it in his sophomore campaign a year ago. He ran the ball 124 times last year for 978 yards, averaged just about 8 yards a carry. Had 3 100-yard games, 10 rushing touchdowns as a sophomore last year, did Jones Davis. And he's well over 100 yards rushing here today for Bishop McDevitt. Under a minute to go in the third quarter. We're going to be heading to the fourth quarter soon in a 1-point game. Bishop McDevitt, though, is knocking on the door with the ball on the just about the 9-yard line. Third down and 6 from the 9 for the Crusaders. Could be the final play of this third quarter. Saunders hands the ball to Jones Davis. Jones Davis, good tough run down to the 5-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down. Should be. No, maybe not. Spend on the spot. No, it's going to be 4th and short. Shy of that first down on the Jones Davis run. Almost got the first down for, but came up short spinning, and the mark at the 5-yard line. So it's a 4th and 1 for Bishop McDevitt. And that is the final play of the third quarter. We are heading to the fourth quarter. It's the Battle of the Berg, and it's a 1-point game. Bishop McDevitt leads it by 1, 20-19. You're watching a Saturday afternoon special of the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Fourth quarter, 1-point game of the Battle of the Berg. What else do you want? Bishop McDevitt leads at 20-19, threatening to score again. Phil Shaner alongside Ford Chapman. Saturday afternoon in Harrisburg. And a 4th and 1 for Bishop McDevitt.
Sneak, quarterback sneak, it looks like.
They were in this very situation for at the end of the second quarter, and they were able to get the touchdown on the final play of the second quarter as Saunders hit Diaz Ellis for the touchdown. Let's see what they do here. 4th and 1. And quarterback sneak is in, gets a little push from behind, and that's enough for a first down. So a 1st and goal for McDevitt. A little tush-push happened there for Stone Saunders to get the yards he needed. So a 1st and goal for Bishop McDevitt. 1-point lead, looking to add to that. So we just started the fourth quarter. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line for Bishop McDevitt, who again ended that second quarter in a very similar situation where they had the football, and Saunders hit Diaz Ellis on the final play of the first half to put his team up 10-6, looking to add to their 20-19 lead here Look at the big guys from the Cougars up front. Been pretty good. Saunders out of the gun. 1st and goal from the 4. End zone, touchdown. Hits the tight end for the score. That is Fuller. Liam Fuller with the touchdown. Liam Fuller, the tight end, with the touchdown from Saunders. Saunders' 2nd touchdown of the game, now 6th of the season. 4-yard TD pass to Fuller. Take another look in our Faulkner Honda touchdown.
Tight end trip set, split end down to the near side, and they snuck that tight end out.
The tight end Fuller makes the catch. Extra point is up and good. And Bishop McDevitt extends their lead 27-19 after the 4-yard touchdown pass Saunders to their tight end Fuller. Saunders with 2 touchdown passes in this game. 6 now on the season. Again, he had 56 touchdowns last year. Let's take a look at our remarkable home buyers scoring summary. It ended with this. Saunders 4-yard touchdown to Fuller, the tight end, for the touchdown. 10-play, 55-yard drive. Took just under 4 minutes for Bishop McDevitt to get the 27-19 lead on Harrisburg. So it's time for another Good Feet Store kickoff. Bishop McDevitt extends their lead now 27-19. Harrisburg had 2 big plays in that 3rd quarter, both with their quarterback Lewis with the 80-yard touchdown run and then the long touchdown pass to Koch for their big plays to put them ahead. But then Bishop McDevitt with back-to-back scores and now lead it 27-19. Another kick goes into the end zone and a touchback on the Good Feet Store kickoff. Stay tuned for the United States Marines catch of the game, as well as the Friday Night Rivals trophy presentation, all coming up. We have the catch of the game, player of the game, and play of the game on the way here in this 2nd half of our Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals Saturday afternoon special. Bishop McDevitt next week will be at Chambersburg. Harrisburg will have a tough game at home against State College next week. Commonwealth top to bottom, week in and week out, tough competition. Well, 1st and 10 from the 20.
Quincy Brandon late on the field as a receiver here for Harrisburg. They now have 11 on the field. Down 8, touchdown and 2-point conversion will tie it.
Koch, the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen, 3 wide receivers up top. Lewis has timed the throw and has the completion and pick up 10 yards, and that'll be a 1st down on that completion to Williams. So Lewis to Williams for a 10-yard pickup. Williams had a catch last week. Gets the 1st down grab to move the chains for the Cougars. Cougars need a response. There's a look at Williams. Last year had 32 catches and 2 touchdowns a year ago for Harrisburg. Low snap, Lewis handles it, and he's going to run. He's good with his feet. Makes a man miss and picks up 11 yards, and another kitchen saver 1st down run by the quarterback, Lewis.
He was going to throw the ball on a quick hitch, about a 5-yard hitch to the outside. He decided to pull it away and just run with it, pull it down and run with it, and nice idea by the quarterback. He's sort of growing a little bit through this game and getting more confidence. You can see it there.
1st and 10 after the Lewis 11-yard run for the Cougars at their own 41-yard line. Lewis to throw downfield, looking for Koch, and incomplete.
Slightly overthrown there. Koch got a step eventually on the D-back from McDevitt, but that ball was not on target there.
2nd down now for the Cougars. Last season, Harrisburg reached the state semifinals just like Bishop McDevitt. They lost to North Allegheny. McDevitt lost to Dallas in double overtime. Both these two big powers of the Mid-Penn region here in Harrisburg, both very successful football programs, both of them, and it's great to have them playing again against each other. Lewis, second down. Downfield he goes, incomplete, far sideline, and he was looking for Brannon.
Brandon was the inside receiver. He ran the wheel route out and up the sidelines, and they tried to hit him on the same play they tried to hit Coke with earlier, who just ran a straight fade. Coke came under the field formation there and tried to go deep to the inside receiver. Nice little wrinkle by the Cougars, just overthrown again.
Ball overthrown by the young quarterback. So now a 3rd and 10 for the Cougars. Ball on their own 41-yard line.
3-man rush. We're gonna just flare it out here. He's got room. He's got numbers.
A little flare pass gives him a first down and a lot more. Into McDevitt territory goes Hill. Hill shows some speed, gets the ball out of the backfield, and it's all the way across the 50 to the 48-yard line.
Lightning speed there by the youngster. He's undersized, but his feet, he can move.
Hill picks up 12 yards on that pass from Lewis. 9:30 to go, fourth quarter. Harrisburg trailing 27-19 with the football and moving it. Hand off to Mickens. Mickens makes a man miss and then gets tough and knocked out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Good run there by Mickens, probably his best run of the game.
Sure was. Putting some pressure on this McDevitt defense, because as we alluded to, McDevitt knows they can't go one-on-one defensively with Coke, who's out there all by himself in most formations.
Vinnie Brooks was the one that pushed Mickens out, but Mickens, big run, his best run of the day for the Trinity transfer.
And now Coke's in a one-on-one situation. Don't be surprised if Harrisburg tests that McDevitt defense by going one-on-one out there with their number one.
First
Here
and
it is.
10 going to Coke. Has the completion. Coke in the middle, drops
dropped
the
ball.
football. The football is on the turf. Coke had the completion, then dropped it, and Bishop McDevitt has the turnover. Last week they had 4 takeaways in their opener, and here they have a takeaway.
Crucial mistake by the star receiver, junior receiver. He catches the ball, trying to make extra play. They had it carried out a little bit, didn't have it completely tucked, and it looked like it was slightly stripped by 28.
Yep, and then Lukic was number 14. Lukic was the one that recovered the fumble. Lukic last week had an interception that he won 100 yards, a pick 6. And he had 15 tackles and interception. Lukic did last week for this McDevitt defense. So Coke had the catch, and then there you see Lukic recovers the fumble. So Bishop McDevitt has the football back. That was big for their defense because Harrisburg was driving. So they have the football now with 9:11 to go, fourth quarter, 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line from Stone Saunders. Handoff goes to Jones Davis. Jones Davis, a tough run up across the 15-yard line.
If you're Harrisburg, you got to put that behind you with 9 minutes to go. You got to somehow get a stop and get that ball back. Down 8.
Jones Davis has really been the workhorse as far as running the football. You got to give a lot of credit to this Bishop McDevitt offensive line. 3 starters back on that offensive line. They would have 4, but David Smith got hurt. He broke his big toe in the first drill of the heat acclimation, so he's going to be out for a couple more weeks. But this offensive line for McDevitt has done a great job blocking for Jones Davis. And this is Barnes getting the carry. Fresh legs for him, and he has enough for the kitchen saver first down. Maurice Barnes carries for the first down and moves the sticks. 8-yard pickup. Here's another look. Derek Brown made the stop for the Cougars after Barnes got 7 or 8 yards in the run. Nice 1-2 punch this afternoon as far as Jones Davis and Barnes is concerned on this Bishop McDevitt rushing attack. And then you have that veteran quarterback that doesn't make many mistakes in Stone Saunders back there. Gives it to Barnes, the handoff, cuts back inside, and cuts across the 25 down to the 26-yard line on the Barnes run.
That's 3 runs in a row for the Crusaders. The first 2 produced a first down. And now what McDevitt's thinking, just chew clock. If you can keep getting 3, 4, 5 yards per carry, you don't really want to alter that playbook right now. Just keep running it until force Harrisburg to stop you.
Ewell made the stop after the Barnes 5-yard run, and continuing cramping has been a big deal here in this second half. Both sidelines, Harrisburg and Bishop McDevitt, had a number of players cramping up. In week 2 of this 2024 high school football season, there is great to see him. Kevin Brown not able to play, but he's helping out his teammates and taking the water boy role here in this game this afternoon, the big guy. Bishop McDevitt, last year, their offense averaged 44 points a game. They scored 621 points a year ago, did McDevitt. Things will be a lot tougher for them, obviously, this year and playing in the Commonwealth, but their offense is pretty explosive. They have 27 points on the board here for Jeff Wechter in his 27th season. Bishop McDevitt has won the District 3 championship 17 times. What a program. Number of players. Coach Wechter, we talk over 75 players who've received Division I scholarships. 8 players who went on to play in the NFL, including Shady McCoy, who's here this afternoon. Handoff up to the 30-yard line as they'll continue to pound the rock. And that's LaRue Jr., the freshman, gets his second opportunity. They hit him with a pass, and there's his first handoff for LaRue Jr., the freshman, who they are very high on.
Bishop McDevitt won their first district title in 1985, the 4th year of district playoffs. Tim Rimpfel's team had 3 Division I running backs, junior Ricky Waters, senior Sean Borowski, and senior Jimmy Bryant.
Not a bad group right there for.
No.
3rd and 6 from the 30, and they're going to keep it on the ground.
There were no state playoffs until '88.
Jones Davis on the carry, only gets a yard. Yeah, '88 started the state playoffs.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a fourth and about a yard and a half. If you're McDevitt, you really don't want to risk this. You think they would almost have to punt. Maybe they're going to try to draw them off sides first, because it looks like you need about 2.
And before '88, the big thing up my way where in the coal region was the Eastern Conference playoffs.
Sure,
that was like the state championship.
Yeah, as were District 3's district playoffs. Yeah, they were started in '82.
4th down here for Bishop McDevitt.
Tackle. They weren't going to snap that anyway, I don't think.
No, I don't think so.
Under no circumstances.
Yeah, Saunders was going to try to draw him off sides, but they jumped. So the Crusaders jumped, and that'll move them back 5 yards. And
now definitely comes a punt.
Yeah.
But back to that year of '85 when McDevitt beat Conestoga Valley, I think it was, in the district final. That McDevitt team had a loss. They lost 22-21 to Carlisle. Michael Owens had 3 touchdowns. Also had 3 touchdowns in the Big 33 game, but the great Michael Owens from Carlisle.
Was he a relation of Billy Owens?
Yeah, Billy's younger brother.
Yeah,
older brother, excuse me.
Older, yep. Billy Owens, the great Syracuse basketball standout in college hoops. And Carlisle with Coach Lebo. Williams takes the fair catch, so he can't obviously return a fair catch. So,
well, the other guy was fair catching back there, so once one guy fair catches, nobody else can return the ball. Now, interesting, back to that season real quickly.
We'll step aside, come back, we'll have that story for us when we get back. Bishop McDevitt up 27-19. Bishop McDevitt with a 27-19 lead on our Saturday afternoon special, the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedic Friday night rivals, Battle of the Berg, first game since 2017. Harrisburg has a little bit of work to do. Lewis, 92 yards rushing, 164 yards passing. He has an 80-yard touchdown run and an 80-yard touchdown pass to Koch, so they have big playability. And Brannon still on his feet. Brannon makes a man miss and gets shy of the 45-yard line, brought down at the 44.
That was a tough earned 5 yards by Quincy Brannon, keeping his feet moving.
Sure was. Here's another look at Brannon's work. Makes a man miss, stays on his feet. That tells me he had a strong offseason in the weight room.
Harrisburg knows they got to take it. This is basically the series. They got to go down the field and score and make the two-point conversion. The clock's moving.
5:20 as the clock ticks, ticks here in the fourth quarter.
They're covering Koch with 2 people, so Harrisburg's going to go somewhere else.
3 wide receivers bottom of your screen, and Lewis will run the football.
Nice first down pickup.
Gets the kitchen saver a first down, a 5-yard run right to midfield. Barnes makes the stop for McDevitt, but not after the first down run by the quarterback, Lewis.
Harrisburg's going to try to play quickly here. They got Mickens back in the game at running back.
Got to pick up their pace, does Harrisburg High. 4:53 to go. They need some points, down 27-19. They had that completion to Koch. They were driving last series, but then he fumbled the football and McDevitt got it back. Lewis is going to run right up the middle. Lewis bounces off a tackle and gets up to the 45-yard line into McDevitt territory. Brooks made the stop, but not after a 5-yard run by the quarterback, Lewis. Vinnie Brooks having another big game. Last year, he had 71 tackles, one of the top tacklers on this team that lost 8 defensive players to graduation, but Vinny is back, the linebacker 43. There's a look at Coach Everett, and the Cougars need to get things moving here. Clock runs now, 4 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 5 from the 45. Mickens with the handoff. Mickens has the first down, nice straight arm, and gets to the 38-yard line before he was brought down.
Yeah, that Carlisle team also won the district title at the Quad A division, as you see the replay here. They got a rematch after losing 17-15 to Cumberland Valley. They beat them in the district final, and that was where it ended. Like you said, there were no state playoffs until '88. Yeah, Michael Owens had 2 state championships in basketball, too. He was a track man, too, a 3-sport athlete.
Coach Lebo, the basketball coach at Carlisle. Jeff Stad.
That's right. 4 consecutive state titles.
1st and 10 from the 37.
He's got room.
Got the pass out to Brannon. Brannon running for the first down, and that's a 12-yard pickup. So the Cougars got things going here. Brannon gets a 12-yard run and another first down to move the clock, or move the chains, but the clock will stop for a little bit at 3:55.
The clock is not a problem for Harrisburg. Plenty of time. It's just they're down by 8. So if they don't get it this time, they want to give themselves maybe another opportunity.
So 3 wide receivers way down on a bunch at the bottom of your screen. Koch up on the far sideline is where he's lined up. Mickens in the backfield. Play action, and pulls it out.
Late flag.
Yep, on the run by Lewis after he faked the ball to Mickens and kept it himself, and penalty markers down.
It's where the holding usually comes, and there it is, holding on the offensive line for the Cougars. That's a really tough blow. That's going to take them back, make it 2nd and 20. Or first, to get the down over again, 1st and 20, Phil.
Penalty number 9 of the afternoon for the Cougars, and that'll move them back.
And that clock's moving at under 4 minutes. Plenty of time for Harrisburg, and they have the skill to pick up the 20 yards. They got 4 downs to do it.
Again, 3 wide receivers, bottom part of your screen. Koch, that's been so good, the top of your screen. With Mickens in the backfield next to Lewis. Lewis the throw, looking right side, and has a completion, and that'll move this. That'll get the ball back to original line of scrimmage, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a good gain for them. That's going to make up a 2nd and a little bit under 10 yards to go.
Williams, Williams made the catch, 11-yard pickup, 2nd down coming up, 2nd and about 9 or so.
If you're McDevitt, you gotta just sort of hold the fort and try to keep them out of that end zone.
So Lewis went to Williams for the 9-yard pickup now, or 11-yard pickup, 2nd and 9 now from the 24.
Looks like McDevitt's playing man free on defense and bringing everybody else.
2:45 to go in the game. Pass incomplete.
He had his slot man, Williams, down the field on a seam, just a little bit overthrown to bring up a 3rd and 10. The Cougars have 2 downs to get about 9 yards.
Williams, number 3, out of the slot, was open, but Lewis was not able to get it to him. So a 3rd down coming up now. 2:44 to go in the 4th quarter. The Cougars trying to tighten this game up a little bit as they trail 27-19.
Now they have 3 receivers to the Coke side.
Lewis, 3rd down, and the Cougars are going to have to take time out to talk about this very big 3rd and 9 from the 24. So as you mentioned, they had the 3 wideouts to Coke's side before they had those wideouts in the bottom of their screen. They had Coke solo on the top of the screen.
And that, I like what they're trying to, they're saying, look, if you're gonna overcover Coke, let's see what you do now when we put Coke, put 2 receivers to his side. And let's see, I'm anxious to see what happens here as well. Remember, let's not forget about the running of the quarterback here, because Lewis, with his feet, if nobody else is open, has a shot to make a big play.
Time now for the catch of the game. The catch of the game is brought to you by the United States Marines, a collective purpose, an effective mission. This play was pretty effective. 80 yards. It went from Lewis to Elias Koch. And that is our catch of the game, brought to you by the United States Marines. That was a pretty play. The second big one, Lewis ran 80 yards for a score, and then the next time they had the ball, just one play, it was Lewis to Koch for the 80-yard touchdown. Let's see if Koch could get another touchdown. Cougars need to get into the end zone.
Now you see that they have Koch in the bunch trips to the top of the screen. They're most likely going to try to get him the ball somehow.
Here we go, 3rd and 4, Mickens. They get the ball to Mickens out of the backfield. Mickens has the first down. Mickens cuts back. He's inside the 5-yard line. Great run by Mickens. They got him the ball out of the backfield as the first down, and a 1st and goal coming up for the Cougars.
Really like what they did there. It's getting an athlete in space. McDevitt's very good at it on the other side of the ball, and Harrisburg's doing it here. They got 1st and goal from the 4, but remember, they got to get the 2-point conversion to tie it should they score the touchdown.
They haven't had a lot of success getting extra points kicking, with Lopez missed 2 of them, so a 2-point conversion is what they would need if they get 6 here. So 2:36 to go, 4th quarter, a 1st and goal from the 4. You see the bunch set with Koch, top of your screen. Lewis hands to Mickens, who's tackled for a loss of 3 yards. McDevitt defense coming up, and that was Barnes there to shut him down. Number 7 was to tackle Mickens for a 3-yard loss.
Good defensive penetration there by the Crusaders, and it's number 7 there on the tackle, Barnes.
Barnes has been good. Last week, he had a half a sack. He had 63 tackles a year ago as his sophomore campaign. So here we go, 2nd and goal from the 7 now for Harrisburg.
Harrisburg took a wide receiver out and has a blocking back in the game here along with the running back. Quarterback may keep it here. Looking for the quarterback keep. Yep.
Lewis keeps it himself inside the 5-yard line, and he's stopped at the 4. 1:40 to go in the 4th quarter. 27-19 game. Harrisburg knocking on the door.
Clock stops momentarily because a helmet from a McDevitt defender came off. He's got to come out for one play. 1:40 to go.
The Cougars will need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to get things tied up. So 3rd and goal at the 4 for the Cougars. Lewis, the young quarterback, has been good today.
4 wideouts now with 1 running back and the quarterback.
Looking towards Koch's way.
He's going to keep it.
Lewis is going to run it, has real estate, is in.
We said it, his feet, if nothing else is open, look for him to run.
2nd rushing touchdown of the afternoon for Lewis.
Now they got to go for 2 to try to tie it.
So they need a 2-point conversion here to tie it, and here's a look at the Faulkner Honda touchdown. Lewis uses his legs for the 2nd time today. Lewis had an 80-yard touchdown run, and then that short touchdown run there, and the Cougars band is celebrating the touchdown as things are tight now, 27-25 in this battle for the Berg with 1:16 to go here in the fourth quarter. And the Cougars will take a timeout to talk about this huge 2-point conversion.
Well, since they used their second timeout there, I can't blame them. They want to get a player to try to get it in the end zone. If you don't get it, you got to kick an onside kick and recover it, because if you don't recover it,
right,
McDevitt can take a knee and run the clock out.
There was a look at Lewis, and Lewis was part of Harrisburg's only touchdown last week in their loss to LaSalle. He caught a touchdown pass from Schenk, 24-yard touchdown pass last week, and then here this week he's run for 2 touchdowns and has thrown for a touchdown. So Lewis has been part of just about every touchdown that the Cougars have scored so far in this early season. So what do you think here? You get the ball with this 2-point conversion try from the 3. What play you think would be the best for the Cougars?
Ball's on the left hash, so they're going to probably utilize the wide side of field, which is to their right.
I want to know where Koch's going to line up.
He's going to come over to the right.
1:16 to go in this.
Koch's going to be all by himself to the short side. They're missing a player. Harrisburg's missing a player. Bringing him out here at the fullback position. So we're going one-on-one with Koch up top.
2, trying to tie the game, trying to get it to Koch.
Penalty flag.
Pass interference.
Yes, pass interference.
So they went to the one-on-one coverage, top of your screen.
You could feel it as it was coming there. As the ball got ready to be snapped, you could see they're going one-on-one to Koch. With the defensive penalty, you see the hold right here. It's going to put them to the 1.5-yard line.
Crummel on the coverage got called for the penalty on the 2-point conversion, so the ball will be at the 1.5-yard line after the penalty, and they'll have another try at a 2-point conversion. So Crummel was matched up one-on-one with Koch and committed the pass interference.
And Harrisburg has another timeout if they need to use it to talk this over. We'll see what they want to do here.
And they will take it.
You may as well. You may as well.
Because really, kind of the game here. You want to tie it up.
That's right.
Keep it going. So they need the 2-point conversion after the Lewis touchdown run. Got them within 2. Now they need the 2-point conversion to tie this game at 27-all. It's lived up to what it's been advertised. Harrisburg, McDevitt, the battle for the Berg has been pretty good. Coming down to this.
It sure has.
Still a lot. We still might be here for a while if the Cougars can come up with a 2-point conversion.
You're that close. There's no wrong answer. There's no right answer. I'm thinking you got to try to run that ball. You got 1.5 yards.
You like Lewis? I mean, making that decision as a young guy?
I like the quarterback, put it in the belly and having a read. Some kind of read where he can give it or keep it.
So you got Mickens, fake to Mickens, and maybe Lewis keeps it himself?
The problem is if you have all these wideouts in the game, there's not a lot of room. And McDevitt's, you don't have a tight end as a lead blocker. You're going to end up having an unblocked defender because they're going to jam the line of scrimmage here.
Ewell is in there.
Oh, they're running the quarterback. They're just giving the ball to the quarterback and he's running.
Lewis gets the snap right forward and got the 2-point conversion.
Yep.
Had a bunch of blockers up front, and Lewis ties this game at 27-all. The Battle of the Berg is all tied up with 1:16 to go. Here's another look. Ewell was in there, a lot of the big bodies, Thompson, or some of the big guys up front, Mitchell, Brown, and Murphy. Williamson, the center, pushed their way for Lewis to get in for the 2-point conversion.
Oh, it was close.
It was.
And now if you're McDevitt, let's look at the Harrisburg. Remember this kicking game, they're not going to kick it deep.
Right.
Because you saw what happened when they did with 28 on the return.
Yeah, Palmer won 88 yards.
So they're going to squib it. Most likely McDevitt's going to get the ball around the 35 to 40-yard line, if not farther upfield. So with Stone Saunders, and if you're McDevitt, you have all 3 timeouts left. All you need is a field goal, and you got a kid that can boot it. So plenty left in the arsenal for the Crusaders here.
All right, here we go.
Harrisburg's going to need to cover this kick.
Yep, Palmer is back to receive the Good Feet Store kickoff. He's at the 5-yard line. He has an 88-yard return that set up a Barnes touchdown run for McDevitt in the 3rd quarter.
The kickoff coverage here for the Cougars is huge. They're going to kick from the left hash. McDevitt's thinking, we got to get this ball out to even past the 30 with our quarterback and our kicking field goal prowess. We got plenty of time.
Franchana will kick it with your Good Feed store kickoff for the Cougars with 1:16 to go, fourth quarter in a tie game. Kicks it somewhat short, and it is returned from the 25-yard line to the 30, spinning across the 35 and down to the 78-yard line. LaRue Jr., the freshman, ended up taking the kickoff, and a return of 26 yards, and Bishop McDevitt will have the football there with 1:09 to go in this game. You mentioned the strong leg of the field goal kicker, already has 2 field goals in this game.
The wind has slowed down. Look at the flags over to your right. There's really negligible wind right now, which it wasn't like that earlier.
He had a 29-yarder and a 37-yarder for...
Oh, I think he's good. I think you're going to try one around, even from 50. I think you get the ball to the...
First and 10 from the 38 for Stone Saunders, the senior quarterback with so much experience. Has the big completion, a pickup of 12 yards and a first down to midfield.
You got to get the ball. You get the ball to the 33-yard line. You got a 50-yarder.
Diaz Ellis with that catch and the kitchen saver first down for McDevitt. Under a minute to play. 52 seconds as the clock runs. Stone Saunders, so much experience. Back, steps up in the pocket. Looks like he might have to run it. Eyes downfield and incomplete. Threw it to the sideline and it was ruled incomplete as he was trying to get...
We have a penalty flag back here too.
Yep, the football to
I think it's where holding is, where holding usually is, and that's what you got. It's going to be a back them to their own 40-yard line, Phil. Still 42 seconds. A couple quick 10, 15-yard passes can get them near field goal range.
Just when you thought Stone was going to run it, he pulled it up and looked to fire to the freshman, Howard Holton Jr., who was caught it, but he was out of bounds. But didn't matter anyway because there was a hold. That moves Bishop McDevitt back 10 yards to their own 40-yard line. So now first and 20 for McDevitt with 42 seconds to go in a tie game, 27-27.
20, you need to get 25 yards to give your field goal kicker any opportunity. You get 30 to 35 yards, now you have a legitimate shot. Empty set here.
Saunders out of the gun by himself. Throws and has the completion.
A lot of room. Harrisburg not trying to give up the big play, but they gave up. They gave up.
LaRue Jr., the freshman, comes up with the catch.
There.
11-yard pickup, 2nd and 9 after the LaRue catch.
And they have plenty of time here. Let's remind, we got to get you think McDevitt, you say, for McDevitt, we got to get about 15 yards to have a long field goal. If you're Harrisburg, you're saying we don't want to give up a big play, but we can't just let them pick and choose and get 5-10 yards a clip here because there's plenty of time left with 36 seconds and all 3 timeouts.
2nd and 9 from the Cougars' 49-yard line for the Crusaders. Saunders screens the field, screen pass set up, and the completion to Diaz Ellis. He fumbled the football. They're going to say he's down. They're going to say he's down at midfield after the catch by Diaz Ellis. They're going to say that he was down, no gain, and 3rd and 9 coming up. Here's another look at the play.
It was close. Timeout, McDevitt. Well, his elbow counts too. If his elbow, I can't tell if he had possession. His elbow did hit, but you can't tell if the ball was loose prior to that or not from that angle.
So there is the conversation with Coach Wechter with Stone Saunders, his 4-year starting quarterback.
If we can see that replay again, potentially from
Diaz Ellis.
Here it is.
Here it is. Let's see. He made the catch, and then he turns up field. And is his elbow down?
You can't tell if his elbow was down, but the ball definitely came out. It's whether his elbow was down or not first, because that's just like your knee being down. Here's another angle. Yeah, his elbow hit and it popped out. It looked like that was a good call.
Great job by our Friday Night Rivals crew. Always excellent, giving us a lot of good angles. And
those different camera angles were huge there.
They helped out. There's Coach Wechter talking to his team now with 24 seconds to go. He has a 3rd and 9, the ball right at midfield, so tie ball game, 27-27. He knows that, Stone Saunders isn't going to make a mistake. So the ball's going to be in his hands, and he's going to make the right read if he can find an open receiver. There's Coach Everett at the other side getting his team geared up defensively. After they went down and scored, Lewis got the touchdown, then the two-point conversion to tie this football game up. The battle of the Bird. Third down.
Quarterback draw.
Saunders is going to keep it, and he gets 2 yards, and that's it.
Timeout, McDevitt.
Fourth down
17 seconds.
So you're playing for overtime now.
Well, no, I'm going for it.
You're going to go downfield.
Yeah, because Harrisburg's kicker can't boot it super far. So what I'm doing, I'm okay if I give the ball for it. I'm going for the first down here.
So you're okay here. 17 seconds, let's say what, 5, 6, 7, 8 seconds run off. If you don't get it, you'd have the ball there. You'd have one shot going the other way.
Yeah, I'm not worried about losing the ball here and giving them a chance.
But what I want to do down here, if you don't get the first,
that's okay. That's okay. What I want to do is get 8 yards at least and keep this. Get a timeout quickly. Get one more yardage play and then kick the field goal. So what we have, if I'm McDevitt right now, what I'm thinking is we need to get this first down. We need to get 8 yards.
It's true. So Harrisburg out of timeouts. We believe McDevitt probably has 1 left. We'll have to check that with the truck.
If I'm Harrisburg, you can't get too cautious and just play too deep and give them a 15, 20-yard completion.
Yeah, I don't think you want to give them a first down.
No. I'm playing good, solid defense. If they hit the home run, they hit the home run.
If they don't get the ball past the 40-yard line, you have the ball on downs. And you'll have an opportunity.
And you got overtime.
You have an opportunity, maybe one play to coke the ball and see what could happen and try to win it in regulation.
Empty set here.
17 seconds to go. It's a 4th and 7 for the Crusaders from the 48-yard line. Here's some pressure. Saunders throws to the middle, has the completion and a first down. Quick with the catch, and he has the first down at the 35-yard line.
And here comes a 52-yard field goal.
A 15-yard strike. Saunders to Quick gives him a first down. Now they rush to the line to spike the ball. And they'll spike it with 3 seconds to go. The ball is on the 35-yard line, so
field goal. It's going to be a 52-yarder.
Yeah, they're going to try maybe a 52-yard field goal for Aiden Grilla, who has 2 field goals made in this game. Showed a pretty strong leg.
He has enough leg to do it.
Yep. He had a 29-yarder and a 37-yarder for Grilla, who the ball will be spotted down at the 42-yard line, so it'll be a 52-yard attempt.
And if you're Harrisburg, do not jump off sides.
For the final play for the game, 52-yarder, the kick is up. The kick is good! No good!
He wide left.
Just wide.
Wide left.
It was long enough, but went wide left. Bishop McDevitt thought they had it. They thought they had it. Let's see it again. There's the kick. It was definitely long enough, plenty of leg.
Oh, it did go left.
It did go left.
It did go left,
yes.
By that much.
Great job by our camera crew. It went left. Just left by that much. I mean, it was a couple of inches from going in. We are going to overtime. And we will step aside. I know you're not going anywhere. It's overtime. It's the Battle of the Berg. Harrisburg and McDevitt, they're tied at 27. It's the Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals Saturday Special. We are going to overtime, and Hayden Grilla, the soccer kid that's playing football for the first time, this is how close it was for this game being over. A 52-yard attempt by the soccer kicker, first year of playing football, and it was that close, but it was no good. Just wide. He thought he made it. He thought he had the game winner, but now we go to overtime. So tell us about the overtime rules here in high school football and what's going to happen here in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, each team, as overtime rules have always been here in Pennsylvania, each team gets the ball on the 10-yard line. If you win the coin toss, you want to select defense because that way you know what you have to do on offense. So whoever wins the coin toss here will play defense first, and the other team will get the ball at the 10-yard line. They have 4 downs, and then you switch possessions at the same side of the field, and if the score stays the same, you go to double overtime. If the score is different, whoever scored the most wins.
We talked about an overtime game in this series before, back in 1999. That overtime went Harrisburg's way, 36-35 back in 99.
McDevitt scored on 3 downs that year.
Yep.
And then kicked the extra point. Harrisburg scored on 4th and goal from the 9 on a fade route. I was the coach at Harrisburg.
Yeah, and you would know this better than me. I think this is just the second overtime of the series.
Well, I'm thinking through from years past. I don't remember any others. There were some close ones.
Yeah, there were some close
scores. Yes. So
McDevitt did everything they needed to do offensively to give him an opportunity to win it with that. 52-yard field goal is a tough field goal for a high school kicker, but he had the distance.
Yes, he did.
He just missed it by really, 2.5, 3 inches on that crossbar.
The situation that we were in. The situation that we were in with Harrisburg in '99, playing at home, being down 7 in overtime, and James Thompson made a one-handed catch in the right corner of the end zone as Freddie Lee was covering him. And we decided to go for 2, lined up and went on a long count. McDevitt jumped off sides. So Harrisburg got the ball at the 1.5, and Bragan Moore ran veer left, put it in Augie Glass's belly, and then kept it. And like I said earlier, about a half yard he was in, and it was a 36-35 win. Because my thinking was we got to score against them and give the ball back to that powerhouse McDevitt offense. They had a heck of a team that year.
That was back in 1999, the other overtime game, and here we are in 2024. We're going to overtime again. The Battle of the Berg.
Interestingly, the visiting team was McDevitt. They came out in the white on white. This year, the visiting team is Harrisburg. They're out in white on white.
Full white. Phil Shaner alongside former head coach at both Harrisburg and Bishop McDevitt, Ford Chapman. Glad you're with us this afternoon. It has been great. Everything we thought it would be, maybe a little more. It's been pretty good. 27-27 all. We have free football. Overtime.
So McDevitt won the toss, which means Harrisburg is going to get the ball first. McDevitt chooses defense.
All right, here we go. So Harrisburg will have it first. We'll have 4 downs from the 10. Each team gets a timeout here in the overtime period. The ball will be placed at the 10-yard line. Lewis has been great, the quarterback for the Cougars here today. A couple of touchdown runs, a touchdown pass, an 80-yarder to Koch.
2 things I really like with Harrisburg here. Some opportunities. Quick throws to the outside, blocking in front of him. That's been a successful. And that quarterback using his feet, whether it's on a run fake or whether it's he's back to pass and nobody's open.
Ewell is the back next to Lewis. Koch is at the top of your screen, their go-to receiver. Lewis looks Koch's way and fires it to Koch. Was he held again? He was.
Yes, he was.
Just like the 2-point conversion penalty from Kreml to Koch. So now half the distance opportunity for them to score here in overtime. With a second pass interference call by Kreml trying to hold Koch.
We got a cramp from a McDevitt player here. We got a cramp. Look at the sportsmanship there by the Harrisburg player helping him out. You got to a lot of these kids know each other, obviously. They've been around for each other for years growing up. Some played youth football with each other, against each other.
They used to see each other walking to school when the schools were only 3 blocks apart. You talk about bragging rights when that's the case. Hey, you know what happened on Saturday? That's the kind of stuff you get when you're just trying to get to school on Monday.
1994, McDevitt at Harrisburg. Harrisburg was their homecoming. They had a parade. Market Street came right by McDevitt.
That's not good.
And it was intense. But yeah, a lot of, you know, the good thing, a lot of respect on both sides, and that's important.
what I think is real important that they're back playing each other. They haven't played since 2017, and there's Shady McCoy on the sideline. He was part of a couple of these Harrisburg-McDevitt rivalry games and went on to his outstanding career in college and then in the NFL, and back here to see this one. So here we go.
And now if you're Harrisburg, you almost have to be thinking, we don't need to go to the air right now.
First and goal from the 5 after the pass interference penalty.
Let's line up if you're Harrisburg, thinking let's run the ball right at them.
Ewell is next to Lewis in the backfield. Koch still remains top of your screen against Crummell. Lewis gonna keep it himself, spins and gets down to the 1-yard line. He's been very good today, Lewis.
Assuming Harrisburg scores here, is the coaching staff for Harrisburg, they're going to kick that extra point or go for, that's another thing you got to think about. You would assume they're going to kick the extra point, but like you said, they've been a little spotty on the extra points today.
They missed 2 of them, so some decision for Coach Everett and his staff if they can get into the end zone. So now a 2nd and goal from the 1. Lewis hands to Ewell, who is shy of the goal line. They're going to mark him short.
I thought he was in.
They're going to mark him short unless they
He's in.
Take a look, and now he stays in. It took a while. It took a good 15 seconds, but they took a look and got the score here in overtime. So what are the Cougars going to do?
They're going for 2.
They're going to go for 2 here, and that's what they're looking like they're going to do. Dancing over on the Cougars side with the Harrisburg band. So they got in. Ewell was the one that got in, number 9, with that touchdown, who had 16 touchdowns last year and over 1,000 yards rushing. He got the touchdown.
Harrisburg is going to put the ball on the right hash mark this time. Gives them a lot more room to the left, obviously. And they're going to line up with 2 running backs, 2 receivers to the short side, and Koch all by himself, one-on-one. That's where you think they're going to go. You would think they're going to go one-on-one with Koch on a slant or a fade.
Going for 2. They needed it to tie the game here to go up by 8. Lewis running, fires, has it, 2-point conversion. Wow, Lewis extended the play and Brannon caught it. What a job by the young quarterback to extend that play, and they got the 2-point conversion. Hold on, penalty. Illegal man downfield. So they're gonna have to try again on that 2-point conversion. Here's a look at how Lewis extended this 2-point conversion and was able to get it to Brannon.
Oh, this lineman had a guy 8 yards back in the end zone. He blocked that guy 8 yards back, but he's got to know not to go downfield.
They needed the 2 to tie the game, and they almost got the 2 here in overtime to go up by 8 to really put the pressure on Bishop McDevitt. Of course, McDevitt will have an opportunity on offense, and they will have the ball on the 10-yard line after this 2-point conversion by the Cougars. Cougars lead at 33-27.
You may want to put that ball back in the middle and try to kick that extra point. That's an option, but they're going to go for 2, it looks like.
We have a couple of lead changes, a bunch back and forth. It's gone here this afternoon.
Phil, what this does do, as Harrisburg decides to call timeout, what this does do, if you do decide to not kick and go for the 2-point conversion from the 8, even though you need 5 extra yards, it opens up the field more.
Right.
It gives you a little bit more room.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's tougher to score from the 3 than it is from the 8.
If you're going to throw the ball.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's 33-27. We are in overtime, and Harrisburg scored. Ewell had the short touchdown run, and now they're going to go for the 2-point conversion to go up by 8. And then that forces Bishop McDevitt, if they get the 2, that they would have to match that. If they would score a touchdown, they would need the 2. Harrisburg, who last week lost big at home to LaSalle College, 45-7 last week. And of course, Bishop McDevitt with a big win in the York Rose Bowl, 45-15 over Mount St. Joseph's of Maryland. But this afternoon, it has been back and forth between these 2 teams, these 2 rivals. It's bragging rights and a whole lot on the line in the battle for the bird. Here we go. 2-point conversion from the 8 for Lewis. Koch, top of your screen. Lewis doesn't look that way. Fires and has it. What a pass!
What a throw on rhythm on the deep slant.
Jackson, they call him Megatron. Jackson with the slant, and he got it. What a rifle. Lewis to Jackson for the 2, and the Cougars up by 8. They called Jackson Megatron. He was mega there with the 2-point conversion, and now it's 35-27.
You talk about persevering through adversity. Now McDevitt is in that situation. Harrisburg was down 8. They needed a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Now McDevitt's going to need the same thing. They only have to go 10 yards, though, instead of 70 or 80.
So that was something. I'll tell you what, Lewis didn't even look at Coke. he had Jackson on his mind in that slant.
Very impressive deep slant.
So here we go. Rhythm. Now it's an opportunity for Bishop McDevitt.
And Harrisburg has too many players on the field.
Uh-oh. That's going to put him to the 5 now.
Yes.
So Harrisburg is up by 8. Bishop McDevitt will have the football, will have an opportunity to score. If they do score, they will have to go for 2. Trying to send it to another overtime.
And now makes it all, it's still tough to get in the end zone, but going from the 5 and have 4 cracks at it, it's a lot easier than from the 10. They're going to throw to start. How about that?
Saunders fires. Got it. Touchdown, McDevitt. They answer
quickly.
Very quickly. Throwers a strike to Quick.
And now I find it hard to believe that you're going to run the ball.
Yep.
I find it hard. You're not. It's tough to get those 3 yards and to put the game on the 3 yards. You got to think they're going to either play action and go to the air somehow.
Gage Ruth with that touchdown.
Nice throw by Saunders.
Yeah, it was a strong throw. Ruth had 3 touchdowns a year ago. He had 3 receptions last week for 25 yards, and that was probably his biggest catch that he's made in his high school career. Gage Ruth, the 6'4", 180-yard target, caught a strike from Saunders, and it's a 2-point game. Let's take a look for our player of the game, powered by Milk, the Allied Milk producers. It's the quarterback from Harrisburg High. He's been awesome. Lewis, he's run, he's thrown for touchdowns. He's been the man growing up right here in front of us, the player of the game, powered by Milk and the Allied Milk producers. Lewis, 80-yard touchdown run, ran a short one in, threw an 80-yarder to Coke.
And without question, they found an answer for Sean Lee, the former 3-year starter who did an incredible job here at Harrisburg. They found somebody that can step up and fill his big shoes.
Here we go. McDevitt needs this 2-point conversion. If they get it, we go to another overtime. If they don't, Harrisburg wins the battle for the bird. They send a man in motion. It's Quick. Saunders to pass, fires, doesn't have it! Doesn't have it! Can't connect! Harrisburg wins the battle for the bird! 35-33. Was
very nice play design.
Trying to get the ball to Quick and unable to.
Yes.
And the Cougars, they won it in 2017, and they're dancing here at McDevitt as they win it, as the rivalry renewed, won by the Cougars.
Great play design. They brought 0 in motion and brought him back out, and it was open, but it was a long throw. Had to be a long throw, and Saunders overthrew it slightly.
Wow, in overtime, Harrisburg gets the 35-33 win. They're now 1-1 in the season. Bishop McDevitt falls to 1-1 on the season. Woo! What a game. We'll step aside and come back to wrap this thing up. I hope you enjoyed it. Four and I certainly did. Saturday afternoon edition of Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics Friday Night Rivals. Harrisburg wins it 35-33 in overtime. Everything we wanted with the Battle of the Berg back from first time since 2017. The final in overtime, 35-33, Harrisburg wins it. It is time now for the play of the game, sponsored by PA Beef Council. Beef, it's what's for dinner. This was the game winner. Harrisburg went for two, and they got it. It was Lewis to Jackson, the two-point conversion, and that is our Beef Council play of the game. Turned out to be the winner.
He sure did thread the needle on that one.
That was unbelievable. Four, real quick, your final thoughts. Outstanding overtime game.
I thought it was just a great battle between two programs, both well coached, both believe in each other, and Harrisburg somehow found a way late in that football game to get a touchdown, a two-point conversion to force OT, and then do the same in OT.
Doesn't get any easier for Harrisburg. They will take on State College next week at home. They're now 1-1. Bishop McDevitt falls to 1-1. They will be at Chambersburg next week. So both teams now 1-1 on the season. Incredible overtime win for Harrisburg, coming to Bishop McDevitt and winning this rivalry. Coming up next week, we'll be back to Friday night. It'll be Cedar Cliff and Central Dauphin East will be at Landis Field. A Commonwealth battle between the Colts and the Panthers. Both teams 2-0. Should be a great one next week at Landis Field. That's when we will see you. But here today, it was Harrisburg taking it in overtime over Bishop McDevitt. What a game it was. And of course, CBS 21 would like to take a moment to thank their Wellspan Urgent Orthopedics, who make this game possible for the viewers at home, and the list of all these fine sponsors that also make it possible for us to show you these great high school athletes and spotlight their wonderful play on Friday Night Rivals, as well as the home and away team, both McDevitt and Harrisburg, athletic directors, coaches, administration, and athletes for putting on a great show this afternoon. And it is over. The battle for the Berg and the championship trophy goes to the Harrisburg Cougars. They get it done in overtime. If you want to watch this game over again, anytime, anywhere, Friday Night Rivals schedule and much more on CBS21.com. Friday Night Rivals is a production of the Sports Fever Television Network. For my statman, Kevin Huddy, and my spotter, Hannah Richmond. Thanks to my partner, Ford Chapman, and the entire Friday Night Rivals production crew. I'm Phil Shaner saying good afternoon and see you next Friday night for another edition of Friday Night Rivals. Harrisburg has bragging rights with a battle for the Berg, winning in overtime 35-33.